Yes, I special word from the CEOs down with the school. In your word, right in the south. Charges. To get your information. For the school to be part of our discussion. Spoon will tell you what is happening in Liberia. Spoon will tell you what is happening in Monrovia. Spoon will tell you what is happening in Africa. Just to not just for you and know. If the children crying for salvation, just to school. You want to get a news update, right to your school. You want to know what is happening, Moreover to your school. Politicians want to make their decision just to your school. You want to know what happening in the ministry to your school. Yeah, to your school. Yeah. You provide them up, better than to just follow. To just follow. If you eat that man, president, my brother, to just follow. You got this. Got the war. Tune into our radio services. Spoon 107.5, Fabric 101.1, and Super 95.5. We can also be reached on social media through Facebook or YouTube on Spoon TV, Fabric TV, and Super TV Live. Locally tune in to Super TV Channel 10. Spoon Tour, setting Liberia's agenda for national growth. Yes, I special word from the CEOs down with the scroll. In your word, right in the south. Charges. To get your information. For the school to be part of our discussion.
How are you, Rufus?
Robert Frostburn said in our quote, "The best way out is always true." Spoon Talk is here, Spoon Talk is there, Spoon Talk is everywhere. Another fascinating day and time to discuss national issues. This is where you get authentic information that you can use as tools and not to abuse. Get the facts and not fallacy. Call a friend to tell a friend, and indeed, Spoon Talk is on. Get out of the gadget set. Pay keen attention, and you'll be ready to make your informed contribution to the national discourse. My name is Rufus Divine Conan. I lead and not follow. First among equals, of course, destined for greatness. James Good Floman is on the other end. Before more I do, I say, James, how you doing?
Good evening, Rufus. Good evening, everyone. How you do?
James?
Yeah, I said, how you doing?
I'm not really hearing from you.
You don't get me? I think the problem from your end.
Okay, I'm getting you now. I'm getting you.
Getting me?
Yes, I'm getting you now. I'm getting you.
How you doing?
Well, I'm pretty good. Una God can come monkey head. So at that, una God money me as usual.
Thank God. God's still great.
Yeah, he's always.
The phone that I registered into Napa and not easy.
Oh man, I'm part of your politics.
The data in different phone. It shows that she's coming for different mission tonight. Anyway, let me bring her so people can know what I'm talking about.
James, nothing different. Same old.
Simo, how you guys are doing?
See the hair? We
Pretty
good.
good.
How you doing?
Come
Well,
on, you also.
Oh, that's good. That's good. Rufus, I was listening to you. You said only God can come monkey hair.
I'm not going to come monkey. Monkey can come here. I'm not going to come here.
You know, watch monkey before. Monkey like you picking on people, different people's skin.
Monkey can pick on people, but he can't even pick on his own hair. So
Morgan
I'm
can
not
do it
going
at
to
it.
hair.
Morgan can
Oh,
do it at
but
it.
James Lilati,
Oh,
you speaking
okay.
in parable, yeah, bro.
Yeah.
Okay, that's really interesting. That's when I had a pet monkey. That's why I asked you when I was young, when I was small. It used to pick on. It used to like picking on my hair and everybody else's hair. That's why. So, well, plenty of things going on. I heard y'all went outside today to ask the people. I didn't get a chance to listen to it, but I'm sure when Stanton comes on. Oh yes, Stanton. I'm sure Stanton going to talk about it.
The man walking by his name.
Yeah.
You live long. Baku is strong.
Yeah.
They want no Baku is strong, but saying they want. no Baku is strong, but in the one. Baku strong, they lie to like bro. The Baku they're not strong no more. Data. How you can call it data? Data.
Oh, Tato.
Data. That one no Baku strong in the one. Yeah. Everybody for the sake, God for all.
I tell you, what
We
kind of
want to be
country?
grateful to God that riches and that we're above ground. We want to be grateful to God, man. It's bad. It's very, very. It's terrible. Rufus, I don't know how
Yes,
you
sir.
got making it, man, but thank God for you guys, bro. For real.
At least in the reality. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, Baku, you weak. Derek Cooper. You're right, Derek. Baku, you weak. You know strong. You lied to the people, Baku. Baku lied to the people. Yeah. It's time to tell Baku the truth.
Can you imagine all the people around Paku? They can't even tell him the truth.
They all scared. They are all kidding. They are all scary cat. But we're gonna have a wonderful show today. We will, like always. We're gonna discuss the issue that the Liberian people want to hear. Yeah, ain't very old. You swag. Crewman say you swag Gio. Those that can get vela, they get vest. You say Baku or Baku? I don't know, my man. Imagine you say Baku, you say Baku. What different? They stay weak. Yeah.
They lure up to our people.
That time of bundle, they will be just fine. They will be just fine. You see, I will be. That's true. Hello, Kowu Dodo. I know where you're coming from, but hello, Kowu. You actually
Where's she coming from?
8 minutes late, Kowu. You're supposed to be here on time. What's happening at your end? I just saw Emmanuel at EFW Junction. The people said it. Do we have that clip? Thank you, James. If we have that clip, I want us to. Emmanuel was going live. It's very interesting that Rich is saying that the people, man, they're trying to survive. Rules and orders is not of the day no more. A lot of stuff is happening in our country, and it's happening so fast. In every entity and everywhere, even the National Election Commission got problem. Commissioners fighting against each other. We're going to, guys, you'll be shocked today. The National Election Commission, the new company they want to use called Lexington. The other one said that my interest. The other one said that my interest. Don't bring this. One don't bring all kind of nonsense. All kind of nonsense. The Director Brian Lasana is in a big mess. The letter was written, and we're going to talk about that letter. Well, we're also going to say that the president is still on a safari. Today, he's sitting watching Brazil and Switzerland playing.
So
why his country people, why his people, Liberia that voted for him. Amen.
but can I ask you something?
Yes, ma'am.
So that schedule that we saw, that the
We get in the
president.
conversation here with Dr. Richardson. You want to start asking questions about the
No,
people
I just
schedule.
want to make sure
That
because
schedule, that scan schedule, man, Dr.
I can't even
Richardson.
believe that the person will play us like that.
Yes, the show on YouTube, James. The people asking if the show on YouTube. Vera, you hear already. Why you worrying about YouTube? The show on YouTube, Vera. Go watch it. Vera, I want to give her hard time.
Jeffrey are forcing today.
No, I'm not rushing the show, though. Nooch, I'm not rushing the show. I'm going to be very, very calm. But it's painful, Nooch. It's painful. Imagine those that went under the rain, the hot sun. Those folks that were having hope for a better tomorrow. (2016, 2017). Those people that believe that a real change was coming. Real change. Even you, how you doing? Robert Banga, how you doing? Justin Samuel. Those people that walk from Banjo all the way under the sycamore tree to exercise the constitutional God's given right to vote for President George Manuel Weah. Imagine the disappointment today. Amen.
It's sad.
Y'all tell your brother that we're coming to have a show, though. Come on, man. Louis Tamba. Louis Vipa, I say, call me, you call me at your business. And imagine. Let's just go back in history. Matera, I will check it. Let's go back in history. Let's understand that people were yearning for that hope and for the change, a better life. Imagine what is happening today. I don't know. I don't want to sing. But just for the sake of God, just listen. Somebody play song on a children movie. You reckon, yeah, right? Is that you, Dr. Richardson? Let me see here. Oh.
I have a grandson, but he's not around me.
Yeah, that's what happened, Dr. Richardson. It was from my end.
Oh, okay, because you already gave me my
Stanton
grandson.
came on and just put his movie on. I
thought
it was your grandson doing that thing again.
No.
But imagine, guys, and I wish you guys imagine this thing about. It's bad for Liberia. There's no more hope. Today is the 28th of November. December, January, February, March, April, May, June, July, August, September, October, November. 11 more. Imagine we have 11 months plus 8-9 days to election. It's bad though. It's extremely. It's so. How you call this, Dr. Richardson? Because you probably that you the teacher. It's worse. I don't want to say what our old man would say worse, so, but it will be what then? After worse, that what?
It's just worse. That's all. Worse. It's not worse, sir.
Yeah, but it's more than worst. Can somebody help us that want to go English, right? That better English. Come on, somebody help us.
It's something got worse end, but that.
So the country is in a place that we pass worst. Then where we go next?
Somebody said, "Well, I'll tell you what my daughter can say." Ruth said ridiculous for my second daughter can say redunculous.
So it's something about are we immune to this kind of life? James, do you have the video? Yeah, can you please play Emmanuel video now, right now? It's happening now in Liberia. Amos, I said we'll pass the bad, worst. Give us something else that more than worst. If it just more than worst, give us something. Don't give me the same word. Go ahead.
Place they can hear the noise about president staying outside the country and go watch football game. What is your take on the president travel?
For me, really, it's not a good thing when a president travel. It's not bad, but to be out of the country for that long time is not good. The Liberia is a good country. It's a other country.
Emmanuel, the one Emmanuel was doing right now, we will play this one later on. Emmanuel was going live right now at ELW Junction. That's what I'm asking for. If you have it, please. If not, we're going to continue. And when you have it, please share it. It's also that Rich is saying.
This is also interesting, though.
But we're gonna play this. We'll play this. Yeah. We're gonna play it on the list. So that Rich is saying, our country is to a place right now that sometimes you just don't know who's anymore. Somebody just left the country. The person said, Stanton, I said, yes. They left the country like a few days ago. They said, nobody go to work.
Wow.
Everything is still, it's at a standstill. The president is not there. His ministers, everybody just said, what the heck?
Don't blame them though.
No, this is very, very scary. Anything you hear on the road, pin, that's also hustle, man. They're all going to hustle. Anybody gets serving on, they're going to hustle. They're digging hole, covering hole. Imagine but Emmanuel, show your face now, Rufus. Don't do that to her. You're laughing, you hide your face.
Somebody says there's something going off the radio.
Tell that person to buy a new radio. And let me tell you something. Dr. Richard say, and that pin you see on the street, they're going to hustle. They're going to cross over and deal with them people. The actual work, they're supposed to also work. They're not working. Nobody going to the offices. For almost 7 to 8 weeks, nobody going to work. But talk to us, Dr. Richardson. Talk to us.
It's hard to talk. I wonder what can the legislator do. I believe that they should stop giving the president money. I think they can. If he asks for more money, they should stop giving him money to support this abandoning the country. I believe that they should open an investigation on the lie that he told them he was going to be going to the peace forum, the Paris Peace Forum, and we have not seen him. If given that schedule is true and the letter that he wrote to them is true, I think there should be an investigation to ascertain or substantiate the fact. And if that information that we have in the letter is not true, then that's lying, that's perjury, that's misconduct. That's certainly a misconduct that people in leadership in other parts of the world they can lose their job for.
You know, Dr. Richard said, I know, for us, we keep it very simple though. Judges, they have to put police arrests out for summer 12 for their pay. The lawmakers try to arrest summer 12 for pay. Say what 7 forget it. Because it will not get close to summer 12. Going to 3 months. Say what 7th, not getting paid. They are still waiting for the lawmakers to ratify the $100 million from the World Bank before they get paid. Our country is bleeding by the second. And through it all, we want to justify the reason why the president should stay out of the country. This is horrible. Liberians need to listen to this. This is wickedness.
In high places.
This is wickedness. In every agency, every area in the country, folks are feeling the pain. So when we come to do these shows and these programs, it's because we love our country. But we have come to a place, and we will play the clips on the street, that people have realized that this president, he continue to do what he's doing, he's a disappointment. How can you disappoint your fellow Liberians? How can you, in your own good conscience, treat your fellow Liberian? The president felt entitled that you should give me this presidency, and when you give it to me, I will treat you like this. With 11 months and maybe a week left to election, the president is out of the country for almost 8 weeks. One letter said this one, the next letter said that one, the other letter said this one. 3 different stories. Even BBC got confused. VOA got confused. Focus on Africa got confused. And they said, we're going to ask questions. And we got a clip from them today. We'll play the clip. We'll play the Focus on Africa interview. And everybody think it's a joke. It's all right. We can live with it. It's okay. No, it's not. No, it's not. So let me welcome the co-host, one of the co-hosts on the show, Kev Hassan. Welcome to Spoon Talk again. It's good to have you. Dr. Richardson, you want to jump in? Probably Kev having a problem with his mic.
No, he's here. Kev, you can hear us.
Yeah, welcome to Spoon Talk.
Yeah, I can jump in if you're not.
One of the co-hosts.
Are you not one of the co-hosts?
You know, the way you said it is like we are all who's supporting the government. We are outcasts now.
You can take it anywhere that your business. Are you not one of the co-hosts?
One of
you are the host?
No.
Am I making a mistake? Dr. Richardson, you want to jump in? The seriousness of this conversation tonight.
We're not taking a therapeutic session here or something. I'm just enjoying the interaction between you two. Kev, you want me to engage in therapy? But let's go back to the show. How you doing? How you doing, Kev?
Hanging in there.
You hanging in here? You feel ostracized?
No, I feel good.
Oh, okay. Okay, yeah, we're talking about.
So you got that clip ready, James? We want to show what was happening today, late this evening in Liberia. We want to show this to our folks. Emmanuel did an excellent work. The late evening, EOW Junction. See some of the stuff that we talk about. The daily living of our fellow Liberians. Is it ready, James? So James gave us signal and it's not ready.
I mean, it's worrisome because when you come here, the street become one way. And these people have no conscience of where they are. They're just in the middle of the road. They have taken over the whole place. So let me just move forward for you to see what I'm talking about. Like I said, this is the main street here at the ELWA junction. And when it's after 4 p.m., you have the marketers take over the entire street, and this become like a market ground, even though it is the major road for people traveling on the main Todman Boulevard. So this is why it is like. So here you see these marketers have made the road one way. In fact, they've tried to, push out those barricades that was created by those constructing the road. So here you can see at this point. So those.
You see, the reason why we're showing a clip of that video that Rich is in is because that's where we have come as a people. They got to survive. They got to hustle. They have to hustle, that Rich is in. That's real hustle. When this is what happens when you have this kind of leadership. This is what happened when you have a leader that will leave the country for almost 2 months. Care less. This is what happened when you have a leader that all about self. The mindset of our leaders. This is exactly what is happening. When we say our country is bleeding by the second, it's no joke. That's one aspect. We will ask people their own opinion about President we are staying out of the country this long. When the guys went out there, had a beautiful interview. We asked them. We ask people about their own opinion. The guy staying out of, ain't no President we are. It's not only President we are. We're going to play the video as to who all on that trip with the president and what they are doing. From one game to another game. Today was Brazil versus Switzerland, and the president was on the field. Tomorrow is USA versus Iran. The president will be on the game. Why the Liberian people, where they are suffering. So it is within this regard, we just want to say enough is enough. Enough is enough. Let me hear you guys. You give us an intro. Let's have the show. It's 4 o'clock here Eastern time. That will be 9 o'clock in Liberia. We want to welcome all of our followers. We got something on National Election Commission, a letter that is moving between them. We got something on Census again. We will discuss it. The guys, those drivers, Lawrence George wrote Patrick Sudu. We have that letter saying that they might arrest those drivers because they are boycotting. They do not want to work. Now two of the drivers are in jail. We got information again from this government, the amount of money President Weah is traveling with, and those folks are just enjoying themselves. You will not see your president except maybe the 19th, 20th of December. Issue concerning the country will be real. We will discuss it. It may make some folks feel bad, but that's okay. They will balance it out. They will be fine later on. But we have to discuss this. So, Dr. Richardson, give us your intro, and we're going to go to Mr. Hassan.
It's very discouraging. I saw a picture on social media, assuming that picture is accurate. The president was sitting down watching, a game, a soccer game. And it's just discouraging because he's been out of the country for so long, while a lot of people are abandoned. There's a lot of unresolved issues in the country. But you know what? When I go back and think about some of the falsehood that this president told the Liberian people, to some extent, I'm not surprised. I mean, just recently, the president came home and he told us rice was in the country. After further investigation, we saw that rice was not in the country. It took them time for them to admit that there was no rice in the country, that they then further said that they needed to dredge the the port, and then they said, oh, the rice would be in the country. So that was another lie. And then remember the situation with the teachers from Nigeria. There was teachers coming from Nigeria to teach Liberians. That was another falsehood that was told to the Liberian people. Then there was the situation of the Bali Island. The Indians was going to come and build this, town, this city on the water. We never saw that. So in a way, now that I see the president telling us that he was going to the Paris Peace Forum, we didn't hear anything. We didn't see any pictures of that. Perhaps he went to it on Zoom, but at least we'll hear something about it. So it's disappointing. But again, there's two sides to this story. There's the president, and then there's the legislature. And then there's the person in his government that is giving him money, the ministry that is responsible for funding this trip. Everybody needs to be investigated. There needs to be some questioning of how is he being supported? Is this close to misconduct or misappropriation of the Liberian people money? All of these questions need to be answered. So that's what I have to say. But it's disappointing. I hope Liberians are paying attention.
Dr. Richardson, thank you very much, man. We appreciate you. Let's welcome Salamatu Donkey. Salamatu, we're still waiting for your appearance on the show. Welcome, Salim, Kedi, Francis Pia, Shadrach Kier, Benjamin Benedict. Let's welcome everyone. We appreciate you guys joining us. Kev Hassan, your intro, my brother.
Yeah, well, back on the show again. I would say there's a three sides to a story, not two. Our side, the opposition side, and then the truth. The truth. We witnessed this movie before. We saw this movie before. When the president traveled, they say all kind of things. Oh, you went to UAE, you play football. They say a whole lot of stuff. I remember this Christian lawmaker was passing around with football and jersey. And so the president come, we'll get in the football, we'll get in the jersey and cup, all kind of things he was passing around. We witnessed this movie before. It's not the first time. But when the president came back, and our standby, we have a beautiful hospital built for our people in Bakulu. And that's the truth. So our side, the opposition side, and the truth. The truth is there's a hospital from the president trips with the same old noise. Same old noise. Now the president coming again, and I promise people will eat their words back. People will hang their head in shame. Because if you bet against this president, you better know where you're standing. The president will come back. And we know. So I'm just going to leave it for now.
We want to say, guys, Robina, Famata, Louis Vincent, welcome, Robina, Lucine, Marcus Tamba, John, Ramsey, Vivian, Joman Jala.
Since I want to say something that's on my mind. I want to say something about leadership. A very lazy leader is the leader, or a very lazy person is the person that always has the hand out. Give me, give me, give me. You know why? It is because it is difficult for that person to brainstorm or bring people together to solve crises, to solve problems. So when I hear people say, Papa coming home, it's almost like he's coming home to just bring things, and Liberian people should be okay despite the fact that we have resources in our country, despite the fact that we have intelligent people in our country to solve our own problem. But yet and still, we want to be reaching out all the time to the international world for handouts, okay? And then we get angry when they put sanctions on us and tell us how to run our own country. So it bothers me to say, oh, just wait until Papa comes home. He's gonna bring us these gifts, these surprises. We have resources in our country. I'm tired of being a beggar country. I want a leader that will communicate with the Liberian people and bring people together and solve and look at all of our problems and solve our problem. So that's what's on my mind.
All right, so let's move into the conversation for today. Dr. Richardson, thank you. We want to say that we'll be taking your course. We'll share our link for you to join us by way of StreamYard if we do have the time. We want to be part of this conversation. That will be the best thing for you to do. It will be a very interesting conversation today because it is about our talking point, day number 28. The topic today, as you see up here, day number 28. The president extended stay, day number 28. Thank you. Day number 28, exactly. This is what we're always talking about. But guys, let's understand something. Who on this trip? Let's try to identify the folks that are on this trip. Since this safari started, the safari that the president is on, since he started this abandonment, neglect. Let's see who all decided to travel with him. It will be important. James, can you please?
hotlbr.com.
My people, where you at? Where you at? Wake up from your slumber. Stop sleeping. Whip your hands, whip your hands, whip your hands, whip your. Come on, come on, come on. I know y'all sleeping now. Y'all gotta whip us some more, yeah? Okay, let's go. The people fool us. The people lie to us. The government betray us. So much. I said they lie. The people fool us. The people lie to us. The government betray us. They can lie, they can steal, they can lie. I said we tired with their lies. We tired with their promises that led us to a lot of damages. We tired with that speech they preach indeed, and now you need they deceive us. The thing we saw, it frustrates us. So why can't you lie? Why can't you steal? Why can't you allow the citizens to be? You see, we just tell you that's why we voted you. But you fool us, you screw us, you use us and later on abuse us. So why? The government should lie. Why? But that's the question that we ask. The people fool us. The people lie to us. The government betray us. So much. I said they lie. The people fool us. The people lie to us. The government betray us. They can lie, they can steal, they will not the corrupt. No one to trust. My people, no one to hope on. Nobody. My hope that I have been broken. I'm telling you, brother. So where are the schools? Where are the roads? Where are the jobs that they say they could afford? But they're too selfish. The people tired with their rhetoric. People tired, they tired. You see the reason why we ask why the government betray. They have enough of time, but yeah, then instead they delay. People suffer. No work for people crying for hunger. Look at. Your vision and your mission, your intention to the nation is poor. You got nothing to show. Nothing. So, why? The government should lie. Why? But that's the question that we ask. They lie. The people fool us. The people lie to us. The government betray us. They betray us so much. They lie. The people fool us, the people lie to us, the government betray us. They can lie, they can steal, they will not corrupt the
You know, we're going to play the rest of them. Dr. Richardson, Kepasan. This is the Spoon Talk. We're gonna play the rest of them. We're gonna play the rest of them. We're gonna play. We want to invite our followers. Okay, we want to say, come and join us at Spoon. This is real talk. We're gonna play it again. It's time for us to stop that thing we call friendship and fight for Liberia. It's time for us to stop this thing we call that my man, that my interests, and fight for Liberia. They lie to the Liberian people. They lie. How in the good heaven you going to be out of the country for all those days? Watching football game, every game. Don't you think it would have been better that you allow Lone Star and sponsor them and work with them and take care of the Lone Star, that they be at the World Cup? But you just celebrating for Brazil and America and other country when your people are dying. You are there celebrating. Shamefulness. It is a disgrace, Mr. President. Look back in Liberia, census, failure. Go back in Liberia. Samuel Tuet had an accident. They're trying to figure out whether he should leave the country or whether he had left already, because no hospital to treat him. The minister that controlled the road fund had an accident. People are not getting paid. Civil servants are not getting paid. And you sit in your luxurious hotel, drinking your Henderson XO. Somebody crying to the mother and the father because they cannot go to school. And you're going to say it's okay? You say they're okay because somebody gave you $500 or $200 or say, go on your show and say it's okay. It's not okay. It's insanity. We'll cut the names. We'll show the picture. We are breaking the minds of Liberians. But this is wrong. Rich nation, poor people. As Samuel Jackson said, rich in natural resources, but corrupt like hell. So let's talk to the producer of the game. Let's play this. And we'll give you guys a chance to understand, and y'all will come and speak. Say what you want to say. This is the Spoon Talk. We will not sanction anyone. You can say exactly what you want to say, and the people will decide. But this video, yes, I'll put it together today. We know them that on that trip with the president. Yes, I did. I devote my time to do these things. Because it's enough is enough. President George Manaw, if we agree to what Senator said, make $2,000 a day. If you agree that he's staying out for 48 days, that would be $96,000. Imagine. We're talking about his paycheck, though. No, we're talking about all the other things he's going to do, though. Eugene Lin Nambe holding a ticket in his hand to go see the game that worth 15,000. Maritime commissioner holding a ticket in his hand that worth 15,000 United States dollars. Well, Bapadu Hospital unfinished, and the people that park up and they left. 14 military, no medication. Redemption Hospital undone. The one in Newcomb Taxpayer, they call it can't go get buried. JFK in total darkness. With a minute Jala sending you to a pharmacy to go buy paracetamol. We got more tip coming up, you know. I want to play again, guys, and I want to hear from you. But this, we got to show it. We have to show it. Because they lie. And they are lying continuously. Like Liberian people are stupid. We are not. So, you know, it hurt us. I can leave everything I own and go to Liberia, but hey, I'm begging my wife. I said, please just give me 1 month. Let me spend 1 month in Liberia, please. Please. Because I need to. And I know she will. By the grace of God, she will. So I'm going to play this thing one more time. I want Liberian to listen. I want you to see the picture. See those guys that are enjoying themselves. Why are you going to bed hungry tonight? Why your family member in the hospital and no medication, they're about to die. But all the folks that had car accident, they can send them out of the country for treatment. Let's play this thing. Let's play it one more time, James, please. Let's play it.
hotlbr.com.
My people, where you at? Where you at? Wake up from your slumber, stop sleeping. Whip your hands, whip your hands, whip your hands, whip your hands. Come on, come on, come on. I know you're sleeping now. You gotta whip us some more, yeah? Okay, let's go. The people fool us. The people lie to us. The government betray us. So much. The people fool us, the people lie to us, the government betray us. They can lie, they can steal, they go knock the ball. I said we tired with their lies, we tired with their promises that led us to a lot of damages. We tired with their speech they preach indeed, and now unique they deceive us. The thing we saw, it frustrates us. So why did you lie? Why did you steal? Why did you allow the citizens to be? You see, we just tell you that why we voted you. But you fool us, you screw us, you use us and later on abuse us. So why? The government should lie. Why? But that's the question that we ask. They lie. Fool us. The people lie to us. The government betray us. They betray us so much. I said they lie. The people fool us. The people lie to us. The government betray us. They can lie, they can steal, they will knock the ball. I said no one to trust. My people don't want to hope on. Nobody. My hope that I have been broken. I'm telling you, brother. So where are the schools? Where are the roads? Where are the jobs that they say they could afford? But they're too selfish. The people tired with their rhetoric. People tired, they tired. You see the reason why we ask why the government betray. They have enough of time, but yeah, then stay, they delay. People suffer. No work for people crying for hunger. Look at. Your vision and your mission, your intention to the nation is poor. You got nothing to show. Nothing. So, why? The government should lie. Why? But that's the question that we ask. They lie. The people fool us. The people lie to us. The government betray us. They betray us so much. I said they lie. The people fool us, the The people lie to us. The government betray us. They can lie, they can steal, they go knock the corrupt. With the promises that left us to all our damages. We tired with that speech they preach indeed, and now unique they deceive us. The thing we saw it frustrate us. So why did you lie? Why did you steal? Why did you allow the citizens to breathe? You see, we just tell you that why we voted you. For you fool us. You screw us, you use us and later on abuse us. So why? The government should lie. Why? But that's the question that we ask. The people fool us. The people lie to us. The government betray us.
Download it from hotlbr.com. Exclusive from locklbr.com.
We want to say special thanks to the gentleman that composed and sang this music. We wish him well. We will be having the discussion. You heard it. You enjoyed the music. Thank you for joining us as we go into the conversation. We will also be playing the BBC interview that came out today, Focus on Africa, I think, where you had Janitor Pale Lady asking questions. Then we will play the Spoon guys. They were on the street asking folks concerning the president trip. So let's do the round table. Let me hear from the folks. Mariah, welcome.
Thank you. I just have a question. Is that the delegation to the World Cup?
Some of them are not. Some of them are.
Do you know how many of them are not? It seems a lot of them are.
Yeah, we're going to get to it because I want us to play that clip. We got a picture list coming up for the folks to see. The delegation total of 51. We just cannot show the security because, we shouldn't do that. But we show those important ones. 51 people on this trip from November 1st all the way to Judgment Day when they're coming back. Let's bring in Dr. Richardson. Dr. Richardson all the way to Judgment Day when they're coming back because they are watching soccer, enjoying themselves. But talk to us.
Dr. Richardson, I love to hear, by the way.
Thank you, Mariah.
So go ahead, Dr. Richardson. You saw the video. You saw the video, and we'll be playing the interview from this morning. We'll be playing that interview as well. Then we'll talk about the issues concerning the country. So you go ahead. After Dr. Richardson, Kev Hassan will come us, and Tuan and George will speak. Then we'll go to Mariah.
All the people who are in Liberia who believed that this president have them at heart, I hope that you are hearing us, watching us on social media, and watching this particular show to see that a group of people left the country unattended and are in the Middle East, Qatar specifically, to watch, the football game. Because when we see them, that's what we see them doing. We are not seeing them in business meetings, or they are not talking on ELBC that the president attended this forum, he presented to this group. We are not hearing it. The only thing we're seeing on social media and we're hearing and seeing is he's watching football games. And I hold all of those people that are with him, I hold them responsible for, not advising him and not showing any kind of responsibility, any kind of, I don't know. I really don't even know. But, I'll let other people talk because I just need to gather my thoughts about this whole issue. It's so upsetting to me that a group of people can be with the president and not advise him and say, listen, it's kind of wrong for us to be here. We're spending Liberian people money. We're spending taxpayer money. Somebody's dying today. Somebody didn't eat today. And here we are. We're sitting here for all these days. Maybe you can clarify for us, have all of them been there the entire time as well? Maybe somebody can clarify for us, but I'll stop here.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Let me bring in Kev Hassan.
I know this is politics, but we owe our people the truth. In no time, there's 51 people in Qatar. In no time, I put my life on the line. It's a lie. It's a lie. No time.
It's not a lie. Tell us how many people in Qatar. Tell us how many people. It's not a lie.
People who in Qatar
just come up and just talk with no evidence.
Let me tell you.
Tell me, what's the total number? Tell us. Eight? You're a bloody liar. You're a bloody liar. You're a bloody liar. So continue, man.
Because I know that. I know that.
You know what they want you to know. You know what they gave you.
You show picture.
You know what they gave you, Kev. But you go ahead and continue.
The public work minister, she's in Liberia as we speak.
Kev, continue your 20,000, my brother.
The public work minister is in Liberia as we speak.
Okay, that man of one.
Dr. Richardson, let me continue for us.
Some people went to Morocco on a different meetings. Zoka Wilson left, I think, last week.
You lied on the 16th of October.
16 or whatever. You know that. And you know, Stentor, he's not on the president delegation. You know that, Stentor.
You are mistaken. Don't let me say something I don't want to say and get Zoga in trouble. Don't let me say what I don't want to say and get Zoga in trouble.
You know that.
Because the president, the Zoga Wilson is part of that delegation because I spoke to him. Because I spoke to him, Kev Hassan. You are lying on the show.
Zoga is having some meeting that are going to benefit our sport industry. You know the meetings, and you know, Stentor, you know the meetings Zoka having, and you know Zoka want to come on the show and speak about it. So we cannot do that. I had 8 people on that trip, and I can name all 8.
Yeah, let Kev finish. But I also not to let Kev finish.
So if you want me to name the 8, I will name all the 8 people. So to talk about somebody when you look where Eugene Nangbe is saying that is that $15,000 sitting there. We know what this. So I will tell you this, Mariah. You asked a very good question. It's impossible for 51 people to enter Qatar. It's impossible. So for the government to take 51 people, this president is not that insensitive to just take 51 people. No, but you know what? They want people to think that way. I will listen to folks on the street today. When I was home, I broke down. I said, wow, look at the things we're feeding our people. It reminds me the day that some of us wanted to hold gun because they told us that certain people in Liberia were coming after us. It reminds us that some of us wanted, because some of my friends fought. They remind us that some of us wanted to hold gun. Just at the same thing going on. When I look at the young people saying things that's not true, and this person out there, number one, they say the president will not meeting nobody. When the president had a meeting with the king of Qatar, they say,
Kev, your time is up. Thank you. We'll come back to you.
Raising the bar.
We'll come back to you. Tumani, you want to come in? Tumani, George, you want to come in?
Yes, it's to be back on the show.
Just real quick, it's Tumani. Let me say this. Tumani, George, real quick, let me say this. If the government of Liberia can put out a press statement, with the exception of the security, to tell the Liberian people who all went on this trip, directly or indirectly, along with the president, then we believe every word they have to say, but they won't. For every leg of the trip, they drop and pick up. They are like driving a van. And to say this, they took 51 individuals. We have their names. I'm not going to include the security. And I know exactly what Zoka doing there, and I know the rest of them because I'm on the show and I can show exactly what they are doing. Listen, don't let us call names. We'll never reveal our sources, but they are on the street, down to the butler. They are on the street, down to the butler on the street, down to the bad boy, Carrasco, down to all of them. So we should understand that this is about Liberia. It's not about friendship. It's not about any cover up. It's not about I wanted to take gun on 1989. We passed that taking gun. You take gun right now illegally, we arrest you and put you in jail. So it's not about that. But since Tommy George, go ahead, make your point, my brother.
Well, as I said, good. You know, we are a student of history, and like I always said, I live era of some President Samuel Doe, and I remember whenever President Doe traveled, even President Taylor, they would need the entire delegation, with the exception of the security forces. And I, like President Doe, always the last part of the press release will always say, traveling with the president include his physician, Dr. George H. Wonge. I never forget that. They always said the physician with the president, Dr. George H. Wonge. And it was said also they will call everybody name. The cabinet members are attending. And you know, it's always very important for speculation. It's important that you be transparent. That this government will come up with the president issue, because one thing that you forget is that every member of the delegation, they are on Liberian taxpayer. Yeah, Liberian taxpayer are paying them to be on our delegation. So once you are in government, there's nothing you can hide. Wherever is done is public. It's public. You should go on the website and they see all the needs of those traveling with the president on that trip, because the president is being paid by the Liberian taxpayer. It's not a private trip. But if you don't do it, you expect people will speculate. And number two, sometimes people forget. You go on Instagram, go on the delegation, they are all posting pictures there. And they will tell you where they are. So how can you come and say, how can you defend such a thing? They posting pictures about the mall, where they're shopping, where they're eating in, what's happening there. And they're on Instagram. And so they won't put it on Facebook per se. So you see these things are there. But if the government of Liberia, we asked the Commissioner of Maritime, I asked him, how many people travel with the president? He called few ministers, and that was all. But had the press release carried the full delegation listing, we won't be having a discussion, Okay, but it's very important that we've seen pictures. We've seen pictures here of those who were on the trip that have not been officially announced. We've seen them. These are people who travel with the president regularly, and so it's only fair. And one thing is that even, as I said last week, even seditious. I said, I talked to Rias. I talked to seditious. We communication. I'm happy. They're not defending this trip. You won't see them easily defend this trip, and they will tell you if you see people talking on a pretense, but defend what's happening is just unacceptable. You cannot defend this. Okay, Liberian taxpayers' funds are being used. Okay, and this trip, the delegation could have been even less, would have been better. The person even said, look, I've been working for 5 years. I want to take a trip. I want to take a vacation abroad. I want to take a vacation with my family, watch my son play. He carried a small delegation with his immediate staff, and let the ministers and other people go back to Monrovia and work. But what we are seeing, I'll tell you this: if the Jowiya presidency re-election is in trouble with this prolonged trip, it's in trouble. And I can say this: Liberian people eyes are open though. I see people have been watching various social medias and so forth, and people have been interviewed. Even the market people now know what's happening. They're aware. They know that the person or the country know that it's costing the country money to have them out of this country this long. So if you think that they will go around and maybe convince the people, like just walk and people will yell and say we'll vote, we should not be taking that way. It's very important, and I pray and hope that people can start realizing that this is not fair to the country, and we should try to be honest to our people and say it out. I listened to the BBC interview today. A Cilician, one of the powerful CDC girl, she was on the interview and she was blasting. There's a girl who supports the president who's a diehard Cilician. She was on the interview and saying that this trip is not just fair to the people of Liberia. And I pray and hope that we can stop and be objective and realize that we cannot see black. It's about time we be realistic and nationalistic and patriotic to our people in our country.
Okay. Thank you very much. Let's bring in Mariah. Mariah?
Thank you, Stanton. I'm also very interested in the 8 persons. If Kev can name them, because from what I'm hearing, there are more than 8. So, given that Kev has made his pronouncement, hopefully it's not the same way he said that Liberia had requested evidence from the U.S. government, couldn't tell us when the evidence was requested. So I hope before the show ends, Kev can give us the list of the 8 persons on the trip with the president. On the issue, Dr. raised a point. You can do that.
I can give it to you now.
You can do
Let
that.
the woman finish speaking, please. Let the woman finish speaking.
I guess
but that's okay. That she finished speaking.
I can give it to you now before you start.
Do that.
I get all the.
Mariah, please continue.
Thank you. You can do that when it's your time to speak or to respond. Dr. Richardson raised a very good point, even though she said she was trying to gather her thoughts. But, one of the things that people, would say is the people around the president are not advising the president, and sometimes it's true. But I think generally it really has to do with the president himself. I can't blame the people around him. If someone is surrounding themselves with people who can tell them the truth, then that person is the problem and not the people around them. And it clearly says what kind of person or president or leader that is, because, the thing is, there are leaders who are narcissists. There are people who are narcissists, and they just like to be praised and worshipped. And President Weir are one of those. You maintain how his shoe fine. I mean, we've seen videos where he not comes and say, my man, how my blade out his shoe. When the security then say, gee, all right, he said, no, let me go back, change it. I come back. It's looking all right now. That's the kind of person he is. He wants people to be praising him all day. That ain't how your clothes fine, his shoe fine, how he the best president ever. He get Jesse and all that, get best president ever. That's a narcissist behavior. That everything should be about praise and worship, and nobody should tell you the truth. And if that's the person he is, then of course the people around him will not tell him the truth. So I can't even blame them. I will blame him. Kev, when you say that you broke down today because the Liberians were speaking about the struggle, and you claiming that they're doing that based of lies, that is just being disingenuous. Because you and I both know that the hardship the Liberian people are going through right now, the things that these people were expressing today, it's not based on anything they're hearing. It's based on what they're feeling. It's based on what they're going through. It's based on their life experience.
We're going to play that.
I know, Stanton. So how can you even sit on the show and talk about what people tell you? Who tells you when your stomach is rumbling from hunger? That you was sitting in America and tell somebody that your stomach rumbling from hunger? And you say it's based on what they're telling the people? That's just disingenuous. And even though you claim you didn't pick up gun when you felt like it or when you wanted to, but you actually have picked up a virtual gun with the position you continue to take against the country, because your words are killing people, Kev. People
so
who
we'll come back, Mariah. This is not a closing. This is not a closing comment.
I know, but let me just end. Who go to JFK and can't get drugs and have to die because they can't get the requisite treatment? It's based on the gun you've taken. Those who cannot, the children who go into school, government schools, and getting half educated because the teachers can be paid and they can't get materials for the school. Your words are killing them. Those people who are getting killed in accidents on roads.
So let's move on, Mariah. Mariah, let's move on.
So you actually a virtual gun.
We're going to hold you there, and let me. Dr. Richardson is now on.
I think I should have a chance to reply.
Kev, hold on, Kev. I just call your name, please. I will give you equal chance, please. All right. Dr. Richardson is not on. I will give you 1 minute to respond.
Okay. Again, you just emphasize on the lies we're talking about by changing statement. What I was talking about is about what the people thinking that the president there to watch game. Nobody here with a right mind will say to these people who out there on the streets not feeling pain, not feeling it. The president know that. We know that, and that's why the president ran to be president, to help this country. And that's why the president was helping when your guy was chilling in Atlanta in the comfort of his bed. The president was helping those people that you pretending to speak about. When your guy, when Mr. Cummings was chilling in Atlanta in his comfort of his bed, this president was there. We have the evidence to show it. You can run away or you want to run away. The true heart. What we're saying here, when you feed the people that the president going out just to watch game and taking 51 people, that's a lie. That's a lie. But if you want to talk about suffering of the Liberian people, you don't know. Your guy Cummings don't know. Because when the president was representing Liberia, we're flying every single day to come and help the people of Liberia, because we do have the evidence, we do have the photo, we do have live people who attest to that. You don't know about that. Mr. Cummings was sitting in Atlanta.
Thank you very much, Cap.
In the comfort of his bed. So
Cap, thank you very much.
You don't have no moral right to question us. You're done.
Cap, thank you very much. And again, guys, let's try to beg you. There's a rules of engagement. We will speak on the issue. If you want to do your side issue, we can give you 1 minute to do so. We are not many. So are you talking to us, Mariah? No, it wasn't us, right? So let's just go back. We have the rest of the video we want to play, and after we play the rest of the video, I will give you guys a chance to wait. But that was an important interview done this morning, very important interview, and I want the Liberian people to hear it. We will play this interview. James, can you play the rest of the video? Good day.
What are you doing here?
I'm selling at the junction here.
Play the rest of the video, yes.
Please again, hear the noise about president staying outside the country and go watch football game. What is your take on the president travel?
For me, really, it's not a good thing when a president travel. Is not bad, but to be out of the country for that long time is not good. So Liberia is a good country. In all country, time of day you find a disaster taking place, because a president be out for more than 40 days or even 30 days or 20 days. It's a threat to the nation, because it's you who you are the one that people depending on to do things to make the country go forward, and you are out for that long time. If because the other country, it will be a serious problem.
So what's your message to the president at this point?
The president come back. The president come back and tend to have his responsibility.
But it's the president out there, he's speaking to his partners, say how he gets some investment into the country.
No, it's not bad to negotiate to get things for the country, but you can't be out for that long time. Yeah, even as a father in the home, if you decide to leave your home for more than 1 week, 3 weeks, 1 month, the woman will do a lot of things which you not like. When you come back, you will see different things happening because you have been away for a long time. So the woman will do things in your own way. So things will not be in order the way you left it.
All right, thanks for speaking to me, my brother. What are you doing here?
I'm selling at the junction here.
All right, tell me, how is the business? What exactly are you selling?
I'm selling drinks, soft drinks.
Soft drink?
Yeah.
Okay, tell me how the business going.
The business is not easy for now because the seller is too much. No buying. The seller more than the buyers. So I don't know. I just buy Israel on the street. We just sitting, we tired passing up and down. We just up and down with the business in our hand. We tired, we come, we sit down. We pick up again, but for them to buy it, not easy.
All right, so that means a little holiday, you're not making real serious business. So.
It don't easy me sitting here. It don't easy for now. I keep on passing around. For now, even bad at war. So I keep to go rest again to go pick up.
All right, so but let's talk about this. What do you make of the president? You see the president stay outside for long. I mean, I spent more than 20 days outside already, and he expected to stay about maybe 45 or 47 days outside. Like, bro, what do you think?
For me, I don't even know. Like, Janice, I getting my brother saying that the president is not here. He go on to Turkey to go see something in this sense. I don't really know it, but I know I ain't doing our country. The country is very, very hard for us. We the youth, we struggle. And I easy, no job. So even the market will sell it for now. Even buy it, not easy. So I really know. I even know. I don't tell him sir.
All right. So, but let me ask you: if you are advising the president, what would you tell him?
My advice is, my president should come back to the Liberian people and stop the Liberian people popping. You know, easy. For my own view, like because me, I don't even know what to talk about the president. Because I put my whole vote for him. I expect him to make our country to be easy for us, but now you know, easy. From the day I didn't get in power, also this day. So we are getting he make it worse for us. So I don't even know. For now, I don't even want to go vote for anybody. Time for registration, I go register. I get my card. I come home. I sit down. I'm voting at this time for anybody.
So what you be doing with the card?
My card will be in my hand. I'll be holding it.
All right. Thanks for talking to me, Madam Collie.
Thank you.
Let me speak to my brother here. They may finish eating pepper soup. Man, pepper soup you come eating. I mean, you come eating pepper soup.
Yeah, just eating.
Okay, my brother. What's your name, please?
My name is Joseph Brown Jr.
I mean, what are you doing here?
I can't sell.
You selling? What are you selling?
I'm selling trousers.
I see your car. I see this car in your hand.
Yeah, very, very much disappointed in the whole party and our president also. For the movement, I'm no more a citizen. I remain an independent candidate now.
But why you get the card? I mean, I see your, I see this guy. I see this ID card.
Yes.
All right. But tell me, why are you disappointed in the president? Why you say disappointed? You no longer a citizen.
Yeah, the president take our country to be a joker country.
Like how?
Leave our country, everything hard. People not taking pay. They have money, carry quarter and go sport it.
But the man said in negotiating yesterday, he was able to speak to some of the government officials of Qatar, and they're thinking about how they can add something on local country rule.
Yesterday, I was leaving evidence on Carrasco imposed. They are in pay 700 ticket in quarter to watch football game. And I don't think Carrasco can look at money, personal money, pay 700 our country money in sporting.
So what's your own advice because you are a citizen and I see your ID card? What's your advice to the president? He's still a president.
My advice to the president is he should stay strong for 2023 because we are going there. We need to take him from there. Yeah, he should stay strong. So when I meet with him, just leave on outside and support his son and stay there. Out there in our country. All
right, thanks for
guys. We got a lot. We have a lot. The interview was very brilliant today, and I want to say bravo to the crew. Okay, but listen to what the young man said. He saw Carrasco boasting, paying $700 United States dollars for the ticket to watch a game. People in Liberia that make $100 and $150, they don't have it. When we are speaking to Liberians on the street, people that are feeling the pain, sell all day, nobody can buy. And when we say the lie, you say we're opposition. No, we are not opposition. We are Liberians. We are speaking truth to power. When they sit and forget about the people, they get the food to eat, the very people that brought them to power begin to think within themselves, why do we do this? For example, you can recognize this other video. And we'll just put the volume up a little bit. That's the butler. The butler is on the trip. The butler eating salad. You know, when we say this thing, people get angry. It's not about me, folks. It should always be about Liberia. The butler Kimboji. This guy been with President Webb for a very long time. And you want to say when the 8 people we get on the trip, we should show them, show the rest of them. Guys, it's serious. It's very, very serious. Maybe you guys just joining us, watch the butler. He's doing the work of a butler. I'll pause and you guys just what you just saw, this video, just talk to me on it. This video that you just saw, just talk to me on it. What folks in Liberia have not gotten paid for 3 months. What people in Liberia are having a very tough time. The president have agreed to take 51 individuals on this trip, from one bus stop to another bus stop. The president watched the first game. He watched the second game. He will watch the 3rd USA game tomorrow. He watched Brazil and Switzerland today. He's going to continue watching all the football games because he cares less. If Alexander Cummings do the same thing, I would talk about Alexander Cummings. If Joseph Boycott, if he does the same thing, I would talk about Joseph Boycott. Tewon Gonglo or whosoever. The president is the captain for the ship. We should put friendship and relationship aside. And we should speak, since folks that are around him cannot tell him, we should tell him, this too is wrong. This too is wrong. And at the end of the day, these guys then would do it, take video and picture and rub it in the Liberian people in their faces. I said, this is why you voted for us. But then we'll go back and play the song and say, they lie. The people fool us. The people deceive us. Let's play a little bit because I know that Francine Moriah want to talk. I can see they're trying to come in. Kev Hassan, they're trying to say something and Sintumani George. But I love this song. And I would say thank you to Tekonje. I love this song. I think he's the one play. James, please. Just a little bit.
HotLBR.com.
My people, where you at? Where you at? Wake up from your slumber. Stop sleeping. Whip your hands, whip your hands, whip your hands, whip your. Come on, come on, come on. I know you're sleeping now. Y'all gotta whip us some more, yeah? Okay, let's go. The people fool us. The people lie to us. The government betray us. So much. They lie. The people fool us, the people lie to us. The government betray us. They can lie, they can steal, they can lie. I said we tired with their lies. We tired with their promises that led us to a lot of damages. We tired with their speech they preach indeed and not unique they deceive us. The thing we saw, it frustrates us. So why did you lie? Why did you steal? Why did you allow the citizens to grieve? You see, we just tell you that why we voted you. But you fool us, you screw us, you use us and later on abuse us. So why? The government should lie. Why? But that's the question that we ask. The people fool us. The people lie to us. The government betray us. So much. I said they lie. The people fool us. The people lie to us. The government betray us. They can lie, they can No one to trust. My people no one to hope on. Nobody. My hope that I have been broken. I'm telling you, brother. So where are the schools? Where are the roads? Where are the jobs that they say they could afford? But they too selfish. The people tired with their rhetoric. People tired, they tired. You see the reason why we ask why the government betray. They have enough of time, but yeah, then stay they delay. People suffer. No work for people crying for hunger. Look at. Your vision and your mission, your intention to the nation, they poor. You got nothing to show. Nothing. So, why? The government should lie. Why? But that's the question that we ask. They lie. The people fool us. The people lie to us. The government betray us. They betray us so much. They lie. The people fool us, the people lie to us, the government betray us. They can lie, they can steal, they go knock the borrow. We tired with the promises that left us to a lot of damages. We tired with that speech they preach indeed, and now you need they deceive us. The thing we saw, it frustrate us. So why did you lie? Why did you steal? Why did you allow the citizens to breathe? You see, we just tell you that why we voted you. For you fool us, you screw us, you use us and little on abuse us. So why? The government should lie. Why? But that's the question that we ask. The people fool us, the people lie to us, the government betray us, they betray us so much.
Download it from hotlbr.com. Exclusive from locklbr.com.
So what we do is we want to say, there you go, Liberia, your special representative in Qatar. There you go. They are doing their thing. We want to bring in the crew. We want to hear from Dr. Richardson, and to the Murray Yakula, Kev Hassan, our brother Eugene Fagon just joining us, and we'll be bringing in our brothers in Tuman and George. You have seen the tip. After the segment, 5 o'clock, that will be 10 o'clock in Liberia. We'll be playing the interview that was done today by, I think, VOA. A very interesting interview to take us home. We got another announcement coming up from National Election Commission, some document going around, the internal fighting about which one of these entities would do the biometric. We have that letter we'll share with you guys tonight. A lot of story coming up. We cannot give you everything today, but want to say exactly what you saw happening in Qatar, the World Cup. Let me hear you guys give you a strong argument. We'll give you 2 minutes each. Then from there, we'll move to the next segment. Dr. Richardson, can you go first, please?
I want to begin by just saying, yes, Mariah, I do agree with you. You did a brilliant description of the president, how he loves to be praised, and perhaps he needs to carry his praise and worship team with him when he travels. And the buck does stop with him. However, we have to come to a place in our country where people that are aiding and abetting the president should be able to be held accountable. People who are with him, at least somebody, I'm not, maybe not lower level staff members, but ministers should be able to say, you know, this is wrong. We are here on taxpayers' money. We are paying this elaborate amount on ticket, on taxpayer and donors' money. This is wrong. I believe somebody should be able to say this. Secondly, moving to the video, You know, there were three very great Liberians that were interviewed. Great interview, also Emmanuel Cotto. And the first guy was very reasonable. He said, you know, I expect presidents to travel. I expect the president of our country to travel. But he's traveling for so long. That is the issue. He identified the issue. The issue is when you travel for so long, it is a threat to the country. If anything happens in the country, who is there? I know some can argue that the vice president is there, but we know the vice president and president's relationship. We know how that is. We know how it's been. So he was right. That was his concern. The second person, you know, she was just so frustrated. I felt so bad for her. You know, she was the one who was talking about there's more sellers than buyers. She had been going around all day. She's kind of have given up hope that she can't even trust in the government to exercise her constitutional rights. She said she was not voting in the next elections. The last person was an interesting guy, the guy who said he was a CDC member, and he's no longer going to, he's disappointing his party. And that it's something he said that the president should stay strong for 2023. We put him there, and we're not willing to do that anymore. You know, the guy identified that he couldn't believe in this president who told them that he had them at heart. This president told them that I identify with you. I'm from the Rock. I'm from Rock of Gibraltar. I'm from Newtown. He lied to them. He lied to them. That's the biggest lie that anybody can ever tell a group of people, that I can identify with you. Here he is traveling, private jet, butler, paying thousands of dollars in buying his ticket. And then someone would like to tell us that another person does not identify with the Liberian people.
Thank you very much. Oh, I'm sorry. I thought you were done, Dr. Richardson.
No, go ahead.
You done?
Yeah.
All right. Thank you very much. Let me bring in Kev Hassan. Then we'll come down to Mariah, Sintomani George, and Honorable Fagon. Kev?
Okay. I would like for us on this platform to say the truth. And the truth is, Lejahu Rennie is not on the trip, and we show the picture. Number one, we should say it. Number two, we should know that the public work minister, she been back long. She been and on her duty all around. We should speak that truth. This are the truth. No, we should understand that Mustafa Raji never went on the government, but he was invited by CAF. He's on the committee of CAF. So he went there. These are the facts we need to know. 3, Carrasco said Eto'o, Samuel Eto'o, the Cameroonian former international player that played big time football. It's on his page. Go there and see it. That gave him ticket. 2 of them standing or taking picture. But the information reaching the young man, the Carrasco buying ticket, boasting, that's false. Some of these lies that going around, the young man saying the president taking the government money and they're spending it. Lies. So when I'm talking about what we're feeding our young people, the lies that passing around on the street to our young people, to tell them things not happening. So when we start to call and tell the people that 51 people, and look at the seat that you showed that Eugene Nangbe is sitting, you said that $15,000 seats. So look on the ticket master that you were showing the last time, Stanton, and show me where the $15,000 seats.
Don't ask me a question though, do not call my name.
No.
Because I will answer you.
Oh, show.
Okay, so pause for a minute. Let me answer you.
But then I will come back, right?
No, you're not coming back.
Okay, but let me continue.
Just speak. Don't call somebody's name. Just speak freely, please.
But you didn't stop. You didn't stop Mariah when she was calling my name.
Are you a Mariah? Are you a Mariah?
Yeah, but don't say I shouldn't call people name. You can say don't call
my
your
name. My name.
Okay, but don't say I shouldn't call people name. Because you have to be
Call my name, Kev.
You have to be fair. Thank you, Mariah. You have to be fair.
Friend.
No, but you have to be fair, CEO. Let's be fair.
No, if you want us to be fair, if you want us to be fair, say you calling my name, let me come in. If you want us to be fair, your government should tell the Liberian people, I will mute you because we got to talk one at a time. We got to talk one at a time.
You interrupt me.
Exactly, because you call my name. You call my name.
You interrupted me. I'm
okay.
Talking, so you can
yeah, go ahead. You got 3 more seconds. Go ahead.
We owe the people the truth. When I hear this young man saying things, remind me the dark days, what they fed us. We owe the people the truth. You might enjoy it. People might enjoy it. But when George Manawia were flying every day to help the same old young people, some of the people on this platform, political leader, was somewhere else. But to brand this man with what we're hearing is evil in the highest place. But history with George.
Thank you. And let me go back again before Mariah, Sintumal, and George and Mr. Fagon come in. The mistake people are making, and I think because they've been fed those lies. Raji, he was at the World Cup. The public work minister traveled with the president.
She never went to Qatar.
It's bad.
Never.
Don't interrupt me.
Raji went on expense of
Don't interrupt me, Kev.
Raji went there.
Kev, you cannot do this. Kev,
he went there on the
Kev, no.
I'm the only
Kev,
you go to the rest.
I don't put it in the bag. That's what I would do. I don't want to put it in the bag. I'll put you in the bag because you finished speaking. So please.
Yeah, but you go to the rest.
Let her have some order. Let her have some order, Kev. Calm down. It's okay. LFA President Raji, he was at the World Cup. He was. He's a Liberian. He's the president for LFA. The public work minister went on the trip. We are not saying this thing only because of World Cup, people that watch the World Cup. The public work minister went on the trip. She was at the trip. She went on. We have the information of those. I'm warning you, my brother, please do not interrupt me. That means that you have to go in the back. When we finish talking, you can come back. Do not interrupt us, Kev. Sometimes it would be good that you take a day off, just for sanity's sake. Don't interrupt us, please.
That's good. I think so.
Don't interrupt us, please. So the issue here is that at the end of the day, these people were on the trip. They went. Those that went to the game, those that went for their own pleasure, bringing nothing back to the country, they were 51. A lot of money was spent, almost $3 million. It's not a joke. Sometimes if we want to say this thing, guys, we pause because of the information we're receiving and people will get in trouble.
Say that again. Almost
you have one group that went on and they
3 million
to the next country. But you think the president said I will stay there at Christmas Day, you think I'm free? What do you think we're doing here? It's painful. It's not a joke. And people say that it's a joke because it suits them. It's wrong.
Wow.
It's wrong. Other country, like we know, they send a sport minister, 1 or 2 people representing. And the painful part, Liberians, Lusa is not at the World Cup. They are not participating. They are not in the World Cup. But George Manawia have the highest delegation. Your country not playing though, but you have the highest delegation attending the World Cup. All your minister, defense minister, maritime boss, all of them, Lace director, foreign minister. Man, let's have a good show, man. Mariah, talk to us, please.
I mean, it's just unbelievable. You know, the president, any president, being out of the country for 48 days. I don't care what you're doing outside your country. And to think that this president is spending most of his time watching football games is the most irresponsible, selfish, and don't care attitude that any president will have. The argument was that, oh, the president want to see his son playing. The president was at Brazil game today. Team United, we are playing for Brazil. I mean, there's a clear indication that the president doesn't care about being president. Joey, I even won't be president because nobody who is serious about their jobs will take time off like this. Even if you're working for someone, the president works for the Liberian people. You know the analogy I made the other day on the show about a father just leaving his home for days and leaving his children hungry and don't care what happens to them? I realized that a lot of the people interviewed today said the same thing. How can you be a father of the home and you just leave your home for days to go walk up, watch football game? And you just leave your children, you leave the country, your citizens. Where are his employers? What employee would take 48 days from work to go do what? So this is clear an indication the president does not want to be president. Joey, I want to be president. Joey, not made history. He not made his name. He not put his name on our record. He does not want to be president, and will continue to lie to the Liberian people, talking about this is happening, that is happening, that is happening. And like someone mentioned here, you don't see cameras in those rooms. They only come and take pictures from God knows where and say this happened or that happened. But we see cameras at the football game. They show him on the TV in Qatar. So let me address this issue of the lies. The only people who are lying to the Liberian people here are the government and the CDC. And it's the same way they lie, and people sit on the show and lie that Cummings wasn't helping Liberians just because he wasn't passing around with video cameras when some of you were still in Sierra Leone trying to make your way to the US. That means he didn't help. In 2004, right after the 2003 war, Cummings was in the villages in Bassa, providing drugs to hospital. CDC lawmaker came on the show and acknowledged it, but then said, oh, they were expired drugs because that was the only propaganda. At the end of the day, those are facts. But let's talk about what Joe Weah did. Every day, the thing that Joe Weah did for the country, what did he do? To give his friends money for the graduation class party at LU? Or to visit his friends and people on Buduburam that he knew? What did Josh Weah do for Liberians? Let's have this conversation today. Let's say it today. He paid Lone Star ticket as technical director. He was refunded every penny. What did Joe Weah do for Liberia? He even allegedly sold our
you. I blame Census.
to Ghana.
I blame
That made us
That's
kill.
I blame.
Kev,
I know the truth hurts.
Kev, we'll calm
You're
down.
trying to intervene.
We'll relax. We cannot do this.
Relax your mental tension. We on it tonight. What did Josh Weah do? He's alleged to have sold our game to Ghana. The one chance Liberia had to go to the World Cup. They very World Cup instead of not now for 48 days or for 9 out of 48 days or whatever it is.
You're hearing the center. See the lies?
Eh?
I
What
blame,
did
I blame
he
you, Center.
Kev,
I
leave
blame
the woman
you.
alone. Kev, let the
No,
woman
like you
finish.
the one I blame. You get
I
it.
mean,
Center. You the
Kev,
one.
let the woman finish. Let the woman
The
finish.
girl who
You are
was
too
2-year-old during that time. I
Anyway,
did things.
Kev, let the woman finish.
everything you ever list that Josh Weah did for Liberians, he now pay his back. He now refund himself with every penny. So you don't ever sit here and talk about Cummings, who spent over $2 million on health and education in this country. Name the things that Josh Weah not do. Who did Joe Weah did this? Joe Weah, what did Joe Weah not do? Who did also when he was there for Liberia and other people were not there? What thing he was there with and for? Talk it today. Name at least 10 things that Josh Weah not do and put some kind of monetary amount to it. Yet when he became president, even Joe Weah himself admitted that he do nothing for Liberians and the main president. But now that he's
Thank you,
president,
Mariah.
let me interrupt me. 30 seconds. 30
Mariah,
seconds.
no. Mariah, we got to move on. So too many come on.
Let me get my thoughts. Stanton,
Yeah,
no.
I know. Real
No,
quick, now. Real quick.
Thank
Real
you.
quick. Real
Then when
quick.
he became president, the first thing he did was to enrich he and his cronies, and then cut the Liberian people's salary in the so-called harmonization and make them poorer than ever before. How can Liberians survive on $45?
Thank you, Mariah Yakula. Anthony Yakula, we want to say thank you. Sentumani George, can you come in, please? And we have to go back to Kev Hassan with another 1 minute to speak on whatever he because he texted me like crazy saying he got to talk. Sentumani George, can you come in?
You know, You know the video that was played with these people. They represent thousands of Liberians in that situation today. Those few people what you might have played. Uh, Thousands of people feeling away. You know, if the opposition look, you know, in America, time of this, the people are not going to add. You know, that's what they put spend money for. They're not going to add what's happening right now, and they will use it during the campaign. Use the campaign. The opposition, they will play the role to say, look, we'll use these things that are happening, but the opposition that want to take power, this is a time for them to engage the Liberian, the citizenry. But I can tell you one thing though: if CDC was in opposition and Ellen made such a trip, but now Ellen running back to Monrovia because they would have had press conferences. They would have get up to midterm and say we will protest. Man, CDC would have made Donald Sally run back to the country when in opposition. But again, times have changed and the position. That's why also now when people argue about this thing and say, oh, what this thing, then the people can say the opposition, yeah, they're playing their role. They engaging the citizenry in their own terms. But at the end of the day, President Weah is making opposition job is easy to do because I can say this: come to the election with less than 11 months. Somebody just asked me, they say, how can this government turn it around in the next 10 months? Especially when they don't have one of the most vocal spokespersons there anymore. Honorable Eugene Lamy Fagon, there's a guy who could make things happen. The guy who could change people's minds and attitude. He's not around no more. And there's one of the powerful, effective communicator they have. He's not there no more. And I really don't see people on the campaign trail to make that argument. But it's important though. And what's happening in this time in our country history, people are taking it serious. And the president will be coming to Washington, D.C. I heard that people already started to send stuff to the Capitol Hill about the whole thing with the president stay out of the country and so forth. I hope the president will show up and he will come to this meeting. And like I said, the National Press Club, that's a club that the president will engage him. They will try to engage him to ask him questions about Liberia. And you know what's happening too? Most of the stuff you see around, the pictures that are being posted on, are taken by foreign journalists taking these pictures and just sending around, making talking about the whole trip, making fun of our country. But as I said, no, I don't know how anyone in good conscience can just defend what's happening. The long stay of the country for the 8 days, the president will stay of the country. I don't know anybody in good conscience can just support it and defend it. You know, I don't care how much you support this government and the president. You just cannot defend it. You know, it's costing Liberian taxpayer money. You know, it's a heavy cost on the people of Liberia, and it's just sad, and it's very sad, and people are criticizing it from all forms and shape. And just before I end, if I'm going not dead, if you're there now, you spin giving notification why this should happen, but it's so good that you are there. So I know I seen anybody. I saw the leftist statement from the press secretary, which I thought he shouldn't have written such a statement to defend it, especially attacking two persons. It wasn't fair, but again, Liberian people are watching, and the voters are watching. 11 months to go, opposition is giving you guys a free passage, a free kick. But let's watch what's happening.
St. Thomas and George, Yenwudo. They call him Yenwudo. We then bring in the Honorable Eugene Lamin Fagon, former Deputy Minister, Information. We want to say welcome to the Spoon Talk, sir. You want to charge it?
Thank you, and let me say good evening to all of you wonderful people on the panel, especially to my young brother, Kev Hassan. But what's not your problem? If you sit on a yatra day, where you man Eugene Nangbe Canada the platform, can tell we say the trip na smart trip. This smart trip, the public works minister been there. He traveled with the president go to Morocco, Tangiers. Where he left there, he go to Sharm el-Sheikh, okay, Egypt. Now so when he come out there, now he go to Arabia. Not as for say the person not there at the trip. The woman been there at the trip. Now when he come out for go to Arabia, now he make. But you can't for sit on here, you can't tell the people then say the woman not be there at the trip. What's kind of be this, my brother?
Not the language you can understand.
I swear, if I go your what are you talking?
So let me interpret.
Like Creole can understand.
Yeah, that is Creole as portrait, man. So let me tell you what I said in Creole. So I said, my man, we're gonna try with Creole today. So Eugene Nangbe sat down on set. He said instead of the president breaking up the trip, he did what you call a smart trip. And so the public works minister was on the trip to Tangiers. From Tangiers, she went to the climate conference in Egypt. Then from Egypt, she went home. The bus left the bus stop to go to Pinsville. You saw the woman get on the bus. But because she started to 10th Street, so the woman was not on the trip. She was on the trip. And yes, over 50 people, because it was a private jet.
Can I address you right there? Can
I address advantage? You right there? No, I know you coming to tell me, say...
No, it will
no, Cap, let him finish. I beg you, we got to go to part 2 of this show.
No,
let him finish.
When you said that...
Yeah, let him finish. I will give you time. Hold on.
No, you said you were coming to me, you escaped, you went to him again.
Cap, Fagon need to speak. That his first time talking on the show. We will come to you after. So wait 1 minute, my man. We don't have to come to you, but we will. Please. Go ahead, Honorable Fagon.
Boy, you don't done. Let talk now. Well, let me, boy. You been a talk since 4 o'clock. Now, just now where they don't tell me if I let talk. Yeah, well, left me, boy. Now, listen. I don't want to talk about Qatar because maybe the next time you guys will want me to talk about the U.S. or maybe talk about what happened in Tangiers. I want to talk about the trip. The trip that Eugene Nangbe called a smart trip. The amount of people that left the country on this smart trip. And I know the public works minister was on the trip. You are in no position to tell me no. Because I know. She went to Tangiers, from there to Sharm el-Sheikh. After Egypt, she went home. Doesn't mean she was not on the trip. That was her leg of the trip. Now, maybe you will tell me the port manager was not on the trip. She was on the trip. After one time, she packed her bags. It was a trip. I want to talk about the whole trip, Stanton. The trip that Eugene Nangbe called a smart trip. They did not include the president hotel, Padam, all of that. Just his incidental alone of 2,000 that was confirmed on this very set by the finance minister. If you look at all the people they interviewed, majority of them were seditious. They are now suffering from what you call voters' remorse. But look at the people that are in Qatar. And look at their stay there. Let's agree Ito gave all of them ticket. Let's agree the king of Saudi Arabia and the emir of Qatar, all of them gave people free ticket. Careful. The money those people are spending over there, they're not money they dig from under the bed, my brother. It's taxpayers' monies. So the taxpayers may not be angry with the president, but you, Percy Yeke, you are the Liberian Agency for Community Empowerment. You're the guy there talking. You are being abroad with the president every day. What is the Agency for Community Empowerment doing? Look at the maritime boss. You are not the Minister of State. What are you doing leaving the country and maritime to go out for what? For the 8 days? Which one be your concern in all the trips? So I will conclude by saying to you, Kev, I think sometimes we make the Liberian people more angry when we say to a guy that it will get a man a ticket. The guy said he's showing me $750 ticket. Carrasco will not spend his own money, but it may not necessarily be the ticket, Stanton. It will be the ticket to fly all the plane, to go wherever the president going, the place he sleep, the food he eat, the car he drive, and so forth. And so what I have to say in conclusion to this whole trip issue, Kev, unless when you come to address me, you tell me that you are 100% satisfied. Now with the president, because I know you would not say, I'm not. Tell the Liberian people, you my own brother, but nobody on this set can hold you. Just tell the Liberian people, what are you satisfied with the whole trip and what has gone on? Because for me, the entire country, including seditions, they say they're not against the president's trip. They are against the expenditure and the amount of people he took with him. They're not supposed to be there. We are seditions, the people you know, they're not happy. Because those people should not be there saying now, doing funny thing. They should be behind him working. So just tell us, I didn't say the president, the trip. Tell us whether you're okay with the whole trip from the time it started.
Thank you, Honorable Fagon. Kev, actually, we got to move to the next segment, so we'll give you just a minute. I'm begging you. Give it your best shot, please.
First of all, if you listen, you probably came in late. You're talking Creole. My Creole is better than you, so.
But you expect it to be better than play upon you.
Yeah. So, but let me say this. Let me say this to you, right?
Mm-hmm.
What I said. No 51 person in Qatar never told you that the public work minister.
But that's why I said the trip. I want to talk about one side.
No,
Stop,
guys. Fagon, let's give him a chance.
The whole trip.
Minister Fagon, let's give him a chance. Let him finish.
The whole trip.
Yeah, but let him finish. Let him make his point. I mean,
if anybody who on the show would get it clear, I said no 51 person enter Qatar.
True.
And I also said the president will not be insensitive to take 51 person to the game. I said the public minister went and she went back.
Mm-hmm.
So you should have gotten that straightened up and listen what I said. Maybe you misunderstood me.
The public works minister came and went back.
Yes.
Minister Fagon, allow Kev to finish up.
So the debate is 51 people in Qatar, and that's not true. That's not true. That's not true. No 51 person in Qatar, because number one, Ledger Rennie not even on the trip. So to say 51 people that left Liberia, they all in Qatar, is wrong. And two, go on Carrasco page and listen and watch what he posted the picture with Electoral and the ticket. So when we come out and give people information, we can search for the information too. The information out there. So if somebody go on the page, you will see it. But I know who owned that trip. I do have first-hand information who owned that trip. And I know the public work minister back home. And I know a lot of people saying her back home. So to talk about this person in Qatar, to talk about Ledger who Rennie is in Qatar, to talk about all those names the public work minister is in Qatar, that's what I'm debunking. That's not true. And we have to say it. So we're talking about Qatar. The people on the streets thinking that 51 people on that stadium watching game. And we have to straighten it up. And that's not true.
Thank you, Kev. Let me say this.
Can I have 30-second counter?
We're 30 seconds because we got to go.
30 seconds, Kev. That's why I told you I'm not going with a trip in Qatar. I was the one that explained this public work scenario, both in Creole and in English, saying she's
no. Stop.
Secondly,
that's okay. Kev Hassan, that's okay. Kev Hassan, you if I gonna get 30 seconds. Do not interrupt him. That's okay. Do not interrupt him. That's okay.
I'm quoting you, and they can play the tip again. You said the public works minister is not on the trip. For me,
That's not what I
the
said.
trip. Okay, they will play it again.
No, see you. Just said the truth.
I said the trip started from Morocco, Tangiers to Sharm el-Sheikh. The other point I want to get to you, I don't know who told you Ledger who were there. I didn't see Ledger who there. But I can tell you one thing for sure. The Liberian people are not ignorant to the fact that the president left the country on November 1st in a jet for Tangiers. And he carried his load with him all the way to Sharm el-Sheikh before some people started dropping off, and then some people started flying to join him on the other side in Paris.
Thank you very much, Minister Fagon.
Let's get that. And in conclusion, the Liberian people are not angry with the president for going to see his son. They are angry for the length of time he has taken out of the country, the amount of money he has spent, and the amount of officials that he took with him. Those are the three things that made the Liberian people angry.
Thank you very much, Mr. Fagon. Dr. Peabody, welcome to the show. I want us to play this BBC interview, then we're gonna, we got about another hour to go. I want to say, listen, guys, it is your take. Who were on the trip? Who wasn't on the trip? Names. It will be so easier, very simple, Dr. Richardson, if the government can just put the list up of all those that were on the trip. Why are they leaving the information minister to give that announcement to the Liberian people and they're sending the names to Kev? We don't know. Kev right now, maybe he's the new information minister. Put the names out. Tell the people that, listen, these are the people that went on the trip and this is the amount we spent for the president 100 days out of the country. Tell the people. Don't come here and want us to make the correction. That's not my job to correct information from the government. It is your job to serve the Liberian people right. It is your job to tell the Liberian people that the president will be all of the country for 50 days, 40 days, whatever it is, and we are taking 20 or 100 people with us. It is the job of the government to do so. It's not my job. So when I said they got 51 people going out there, go figure it out. Come and correct the show. We'll be happy. If I tell you that, listen, they got 100 people going out there, that's your business. Why will you keep, there's something about this thing. Your heart is secret because of the clandestine behavior. That's why your heart is secret. 48 days, if we were agreed. And guess what happened? 2,000 under the president. That's $96,000. What in the good heaven one more believe that Ito bought ticket for Kalasco? Are we stupid here? You go buy that story. This is wrong. We are not the one that's speaking. The Liberian people speaking. They're hearing this information. They have not gotten paid for 3 months. They are suffering. Nobody going to work like before. Everybody just on the hustle. President gone with half of the country. Workers. They're all on the safari. They must sit there and can't make correction. You go correct who was there, who wasn't there. I play my tape, I play my video. Let's go to the interview.
Can I have 30 seconds?
Yeah, Mariah. Hold on, let's give Mariah 10 seconds. Go ahead, Mariah.
Right, thank you. You struck a good point about the whole Carrasco and Ito thing, and I wanted to speak to that quickly. I mean, this lie that Ito gave Carrasco VIP ticket worth thousands of dollars is just aggravating because it's an insult to our intelligence and the doubt of the Liberian people. First things first, where does Ito know Carrasco from to get him VIP ticket worth thousands of dollars? All the Cameroonians who went on their delegation to watch Cameroon play in the World Cup, Ito ain't getting VIP ticket. At Carrasco, you get VIP ticket too. But let's talk about the trip and how many persons on the trip. You keep saying it. I told you call the names. You call the names. Yeah, you tell what time the Liberian government asked America for evidence to prosecute my guilty. You stay and call the names. We know we are on the trip. We know Claire we are on the trip. We know Kimaya, the foreign minister, on the trip. We know Eugene Angbe, the maritime commissioner, on the trip. We know Zoga Wilson, the youth and sports minister, on the trip. We know Solo Kekbe, the press secretary, on the trip.
Why are you naming that? Let me move from that.
No, wait, because we're coming past by 8. We know Pepsi Yeke, the latest director on the trip. We know Chokon Pui, The Minister of State is on the trip. We know Kalasco is on the trip. We already at 10. We know
It's a press secretary, it's a delegation of the president. It's the press secretary solo, it's a delegation of the president.
All right, Mariah, we're not take that route, Mariah. No, hold on, guys. I gotta go. All right, Mariah,
delegation.
All right, guys, thank you very much. Mariah, thank you. Mariah, thank you very much. Thank you, Mariah. Thank you, Kev Hassan. Let's move on. The issue here is that you just listen, we gotta go on. We have to move on. Please. Please, we have to move on. You said we sit down. You said we get 8. We're not named 12 people, but you said we get 8. Let's move on, man. Just stop the tabata. James, let's go. Roll it.
We're just over a week into possibly the biggest footballing event on the planet, the World Cup in Qatar, and things have got heated up. Thousands of miles away even, in Liberia, the West African nation's president and former international footballer George Weah has been in Doha since the start of the World Cup, watching his son Timothy Weah, who's playing for the US. And today I'm asking, why are Liberians upset with President George Weah? I'm Alan Kasuja, and this is Africa Daily. So President George Weah left Liberia on the 1st of November and was meant to return this month, but has since extended his return to December 18th. In his travels, President Weah has visited a number of countries, including Morocco, Egypt, France, Qatar, and next, he's planned a trip to the US. In a letter to the Senate, the president said these were official trips undertaken by a head of state for bilateral and multilateral meetings. But Liberians say they aren't happy with the travels and the cost that's attached to them, and especially the extended stay in Doha for the World Cup. So, to get a sense of what's happening on the ground, I got in touch with Liberian journalist in the capital, Monrovia, Jonathan Pelele.
If you listen to the radio programs in the morning, both in Monrovia and in rural places, people just don't understand why the president will want to stay away for this long. So the discussions here are largely about the president leaving at a time he should not have left the country. And I've just been talking to people just to get some feeling about the president being away.
The president has left the country at a time when the judiciary has not taken pay for 3 months. Civil servants have not taken pay for 3 months. When the national census has become a disaster, and he is using taxpayers' money to sponsor his trip to watch his son playing football at the World Cup. And worst of all is that his son is not playing for Liberia but for the United States. I think staying out of the country for 48 days is a disservice to the Liberian people. This is just absolutely wrong, and it shows insensitivity to the people of Liberia.
Granted that Liberia needs bilateral relationship with other nations and we need support and all that, but you cannot leave the country for such that time. Liberia is at a crossroad where we have lots of national crucial issues. You have the economy, you have crucial elections coming up in 11 months, and the president is away for such a long time. This is not good for the nation.
A few Liberians there sharing their thoughts about President Weah's foreign travels. I still have a few more things to discuss with Jonathan. So, what about the cost of this trip? That is something that has been talked about. How much of a cost will this be to the taxpayer?
That's the question here, because Liberia has an official travel ordinance where, besides the per diem and the cost of accommodation for the president, he should be given an incidental allowance of $2,000 a day. This, to make it clear, is not his per diem, which should be much higher, or the cost of accommodation. It is just a daily incidental allowance, $2,000 a day. So this alone will amount to $96,000 for the 48 days. So if you consider this and the number of top-level persons he travels with, the Minister of Defense, the Minister of Foreign Affairs. You also have the Minister or the person in charge of Maritime Affairs. So, and up to now, they haven't disclosed the exact number of persons traveling. So some people are saying that around $1 million plus will be spent on this trip. The Finance Minister has appeared on a radio program here to say that this is the entitlement of the president, and so it is expected to come from taxpayers' money.
Now, switching to the football, where the young Aware is playing for the United States, I wonder, how is that perceived in the country?
This is one situation where...
So let me bring you guys back. Well, I want us to go to Isaac Solo Kagwe later on. He spoke about the reason why the president made this trip into one. And guys, just understand, Senator has his own version. Eugene Nagwe have his own story. Now we're going to Soto. All of them get different excuse why the president must take this 365 days trip. So let me hear from you, Dr. Richardson, Mariah. You want to play that first before we move on? Let's listen to Soto first. Yeah, let's listen to Soto.
We reached out to President Ware's team about the criticism he'd received for being away from home for so long. His press secretary, Isaac Solo Kelbwe, said that the long visits were partly caused by flights, or rather a lack of direct flights from Liberia to the places the president needed to be for meetings and conferences. And because they were scheduled to happen on dates close to each other, it made more sense to take them all in one soup.
What I expect our people who mean well for our country should not be lobbying in the corridors of Washington and D.C. for their own people to be sanctioned, for their own economy and country to be strangulated. Is to join the president and make those meaningful decisions. If you want the president to go to a program a day before, have your own flight. We do not have direct flights from Liberia to even America. Do you expect him to go back to Liberia and then get another flight to go to America for those engagements? That's a waste of resources. So this is what makes the president trip most economical when it comes to saving Liberian monies. And it's very...
Guys, your thoughts? Because I don't want to say anything to that one. You can help us. Dr. Richardson, that's a bloody... Anyway, let me keep myself to myself.
You know, did I just hear him say that Liberia need to have their own flight in order for them not to be wasteful? He's in charge. His president is in charge of the planning process for Liberia to have our own flight. You know, if we all have established on this show, and I hope Liberians are listening, the president lied. That's plain. I want to use better word. I was going to say he elaborated, he presented falsehood. For lack of a better word, he lied to the Liberian people. And Liberians, if you are listening, it is time that you really think hard and make some hard choices, some hard decisions, that this president does not mean well for you. The fact that this person can even think that we are so dumb, or we are just like he can abuse us and get away with it. I went on the Paris Peace Forum website. In his letter, he said he extended his time because the Paris Peace Forum was extended. I cannot find any notification that this Paris Peace Forum was extended. And to me, that just, it's too disgraceful. It's disappointing that the president would think that Liberians are so dumb. And then for someone on this show to say that, we lying to the Liberian people. Liberian people can figure this out, just like how I figured this out. The second thing is that he left unresolved issues in Liberia, life and death issues in Liberia. The life and death issue, we're talking about people not finding food to eat. We're talking about people going to hospitals and dying. We're talking about the Rawa highway that was left undone. Anybody can jump into any kind of hole. You can't even travel at night at that highway. You know, it reminds me of the lady who told me there's more seller in the country than buyer. She's struggling all day, and she voted for this president. Lastly, the president should be investigated for misconduct, okay? Because he lied, number one. He's spending the Liberian people money inappropriately. So I believe that somebody have to hold him responsible for this behavior. This kind of misconduct has to be investigated. He is not doing his job effectively. He lied to Liberian people, and he's not holding his constitutional responsibility as president. He's not doing that well, and he has to be investigated for this.
Dr. Richardson, thank you. Mariah? Let me hold you, Mariah. Let me bring one of the gentlemen in first. Dr. Peabody, you just joined us. Go ahead.
You got my thoughts up, fine.
Yeah, I know.
CEO is. I'm sitting here and I'm just getting sick in the stomach to say this, because how much more is the Paris Peace Forum not taking place in Qatar? Is that where the new venue is, and is that where the president is supposed to meet at palaces and mansions, not a president meeting people at football stadium to discuss Liberia affairs and asking for help? I mean, you had 8 people that got drowned in Nimba. If that is not a national crisis for the leader of the country to come home and even identify, even make a statement about that, and then tell me why 8 people, 8 Liberians got drowned. Are they not important? Did you hear any statement, any national statement that was made by the president? Even in Qatar, he could have sent a message about the family and expressing his regret and all of that. Did you hear anything? And I don't know, but those associated with the information dissemination, they are all making up lies, because they talk about how will you send a message like that to your country and say you're attending a meeting and you are not, and this is around the world. I mean, I don't understand. Look, I have tried to be as honest and fair to this government. People have insulted me and said things to have brought myself down to even try to promote them in a way. But what Liberia is looking at here, I've never seen that. This is a complete disgrace. And I always say it's left with the Liberian people. It's left with them. I'm embarrassed, to be honest. I'm really embarrassed as a Liberian to see what's going on, hearing from our leader and stuff like that. I mean, you go into a conference, you're sitting in national stadium. What does Brazil and whoever played it, what does it have to do with the national interest of Liberia? You should be there trying to make arrangements stuff. It's all about football. And the sad thing is, people sit there and post it on Facebook and Instagram, forgetting to know that the people who are suffering, who are dying, don't have any resources, is the tax money that you are using and going all on Facebook. If I was on that trip, I will play low of not even putting picture and video, because I know the message is sent. People get upset. I mean, if I'm a Liberian, I'm in Monrovia, I can't get food to eat. I can't find means, and then other people are using my tax money and on Facebook fronting and showing. This is really sad for our country. Really sad.
Thank you. Tell people, you struck a very important point, something that we should call this government out. 8 people, 8 Liberians got drowned. No statement from the president. Hey, man. No statement. Not even you're sorry, yeah. Not even you're sorry, yeah. No. But guess what? This person will be in Nimai County asking the people to vote for him. Listen to Money George.
I'm reminded about, when I see what's happening today, I'm reminded about the late senior comrades William Girakule, Errol Bian Kesseli, even Madam Ellen Johnson Sirleaf. President Weah is at the time, his president is in the time where these leaders are just talk about. They're not around. But the reason why they were pursued by the regime at the time, because the stand they took. They were vocal, they came out strong, and they didn't mince the words. When they would have made it clear, called rallies, so forth, about what's happening, especially involving Liberian tax dollars. I pay glowing tribute to them today in this concern, because there was when they stood up to the powers that be, and mind you, they were standing up to military government at the time. Okay, these guys, these leaders were fearless and the position, made it clear. They rallied the supporters and took up and engaged the ruling establishment at the time. But I said today, because honestly, what's happening in the country today, and people just talking, and they have not taken going to court. Like Simon Freeman said, you have the right to go to court. Use the court, do things, take the issue or make it an issue. Go to court, say, look, certain things are happening. You're concerned that the president have his time and so forth, and we want to compare our lawmakers to come forward. But again, these are the times we are living in, and so the president can do things as he pleases, and if he that nothing will happen, like the pro tem, he's a joke, that guy. So I won't take these guys serious. They just holding the position for their own personal enticement, not for the Liberian people. That's why I maintain that we cannot have the fearless in 2024 with Abachi as pro tem and Bovachin as speaker step up. They're the ones who are representing the people of Liberia, but they're all silent. They just all they do is just fund minister. And the kind of money, even the judiciary, you saw the other day when the money was delayed, they wanted to put the minister in jail. But when it comes to Liberian people, business and interest, they are just silent. So President I say he's lucky that he it's a time we're living in. He's not having that kind of pressure on him.
Thank you very much, Ntomade. Kev Hassan.
When the president asks the question, where was your voice? I'm hearing opposition voice on our BBC. When Madam Ellen, 2015, came to America and celebrated a grandchild birthday on the expense of the Liberian people. Where were your voice? This, I call it a hypocrite in the highest place. The reason we explain certain things to the Liberian people is because when folks who were part of the last government kept their voice, not saying anything, but come out today to pretend like they are the voice of the people. Where was your voice? When this president going to Morocco and decide, I'm leaving the West all the way to the North, I would do the business, then flying, coming back, which I know it saved the Liberian people money from going back and forth. And people ask the question and saying, what money you're saving? If you keep flying back and forth, that rock?
I feel like Frank getting a private jet.
That rock? So when people come on and just want to beat on this government that have voice then and don't say anything and whine and dine with the old regime, that similar things happen, worse thing happen, nothing to show for. People who held position and will come and act that they are your voice because of politics. But we will explain to the people. We will go out there. We're not doing it because we want something. Folks who talking, they want something. They're being government all over. In the last government, want to come back again. But we are not, we don't want to be in government, but we want to stop the genocide that happened in our country. And we will stop it because of lies. Because of lies. The president went on a smart trip. How can somebody like Mo Ali talking on the people taxpayer? Why he went to school on the Liberian people taxpayer money? Why he attended Leeds University for the Liberian people money? Don't he come and talk? What Mo Ali can show for? Can Mo Ali come and show us? Nothing. But he went to school on the Liberian people money. Come on now. Why was the voice or the assistant minister? When Ma Ellen came to America and enjoyed herself with a grandchild on the Liberian people money, where was the voice? Some people want to pass it around and just talk. And just talk. Listen, people who on that trip, Percy Yeke, Finda, Trocon, Kalasco, the defense minister, Emmanuel Shaw, foreign minister, and Eugene Langbe. And you want to add the president, the EPS? Do you want to talk about the press secretary? The reason I call Eugene Fagon because he know the protocol. He know that the press secretary is not the president delegation. He know the press secretary is not going to sit there and talk business. It's a press secretary. For a chief of staff to come here and say the press secretary, which she is
sitting there on the chair, he's sitting there in
Mariah, don't interrupt him.
And said the press secretary is part of the president of main delegation. They're sitting there in the meeting. No, that's their duty to go where the president go. Every country to have press secretary. To count the press secretary, then go count the EPS then now. Because like I saw something yesterday, 25 EPS. Where you get that from? But because of the lie and people trade in their intelligence, their smartness, and how they're intelligent, and put in their mind junk. And when you stuff junk in your mind and when you speak, it just sounds something else. Because you cannot talk about no press secretary.
Kev, thank you very much.
President, you cannot talk about the EPS.
Kev, thank you very much. Thank you. Mariah, you want to come in and Fagon will take us home?
Yeah, Kev spoke for over 3 minutes, so I hope you watch the time while I'm speaking. I think it is completely foolhardy to distance the press secretary, the EPS, and other persons on the president's delegation because you claim they're not sitting in meetings. They're not sitting in meetings. The ROC took them to Qatar. The ROC, they're being paid every day. They clearly spoke about the president's delegation. How many persons? They didn't say how many persons.
I will pay after the show. You gotta help Mariah.
Kev Hassan, do not interrupt, please.
No, if I go help Mariah on this
one. Mariah, please continue.
Went to sit in meetings. They said how many persons are on the delegation. You lied and said it was 8 persons. And when we counted and they passed
I just named the 8
and say the other people can be counted because they're not sitting in meetings. Who's stupid here? Nobody's stupid here. The other people who not in meetings, that broom they flew on. They flew on broom to go to Qatar.
The EPS
money.
You see your man. You see.
They're not taxpayers' money. We're talking about the number of persons that were on the trip. You can't sit down here and talk about you can't count the other people because they're not sitting there in meeting. What kind of foolishness is this? Why do you think the Liberian people deserve this? After everything they've done for Joshua, it's also foolhardy to sit here and ask about hypocrisy.
Kev, you have time to speak. You just spoke. Give her a chance.
why you said I said nonsense on the show. That was the insult. But it's foolishness to think that Liberians should not question how many people on the show and on the trip and tell them you can't count the other people because they're not in meetings. That broom they flew on to go to Qatar on enough taxpayers' money that was used to buy the tickets and giving them the per diem and the DSA and all of the funding they need while they're out of the country. Who do you think stupid here? And it's also very foolhardy to sit there and talk about hypocrisy. Really? People who are talking then, who didn't talk then, why they're talking now? The real hypocrisy are people who were loud then. Why are they silent, quiet like their bodies now? Why? The very people who spoke against the issues in the past regime, why are they quiet like their bodies now when those same issues have become worse under this government? That's the hypocrisy. And you continue to defend this government while Liberians are dying because you're sitting there in Maryland and being paid regularly thousands of dollars when civil servants can get paid 3 months in a row. And you want to sit here and talk about hypocrisy? These lies has to stop. And we will erect the checkpoints now. Solo talking to BBC about flights. Really? Flights that the reason Joey has spending 48 days out of the country? Flights? He's spending 9 days in Qatar. He's attended 3 to 4 football games. So what was the flight issue? Madame Shirley flew commercial, and she didn't spend this much time out of the country either. Yeah, Josh Rai went out of the country on private jet. What a private jet is stuck in mid-air. They drop out of them by parachute. That you're sitting here and talking about flights? Why are you continuing to lie to the Liberian people? What kind of insult to the intelligence is this? And let's go back to the Carrasco ticket. Even if Samuel Ituo gave Carrasco ticket worth thousands of dollars, do you understand it's a gift and it's subject to the code of conduct? Public officials, government workers, are they supposed to be taking gifts of thousands of dollars from people without declaring it? If it's a gift from Ituo, does Carrasco have any intent to declare it as a gift or a token? Section 9.2 of your code of conduct requires that. So let's say that it's a gift from Ituo. Is he going to declare it? You just sit on the show and just because you think Liberian people will not look right through the lies. And just lastly, on the issue of the township.
But whoa. You said we just sit on the show and talk. You talk. No. Are you attacking our show?
I said, Kev.
Oh, okay. I don't want to check that. Okay.
No. I'm speaking to somebody here directly. The person who is getting paid regularly every month. While civil parents can get paid for 3 months and living a comfortable life in Maryland, USA. And let's talk about the 8 people that died in Lima County. 8 citizens of Liberia. 8 Nimbayans, Liberians, died. And you know how they died? They were coming from the farm and they had to cross the river. There's a river between the town and the farm, and they were using a canoe. 8, including a baby, died, women and children, while coming from the farm. Do you know who went there to sympathize with them besides the senators, the 2 senators, and the representative for the district? This is happening in Zamboita, District 8, Nima County. Alexander Cummins, that you say he do nothing, or he ain't doing nothing, or whatever it is. He was the one who had to play president while a president was balling out of the country on taxpayers' money while the same people were dying. Not a word from the president's office. Not a statement to say, we are sorry, sympathy to the people of Nimba. His citizens that he's supposed to be protected, he took an oath to protect, he swore to protect lives and properties as president of Liberia. And 8 of his citizens, including women, children, died. And not a word to this date. Not a statement has come from the government. Their lives matter. But let me say this to President Weah. Nima Kante, they're not only the votes that matter. Their lives matter too. And just as you can go to Nima to look for votes, you should be able to go to Nima to sympathize with the people when they lost their lives. This is not the first time you've abandoned Nimbayans in their time of grief. When the gold mine incident happened, you failed to go. You did not appear in Nima County. You did not visit the people of Nima. You did not tell them sorry. And this is no comparison. But when there was a fire incident in another part of the country, You went there. You took bags of rice. Nima people ain't deserve your sympathy. But Liberians are not stupid. In 2023, they will show you Pepe. Wait for it.
Yakula, we want to appreciate your participation tonight. We're going to go to the Honorable Eugene Lami Fagon. Mr. Minister.
I don't even know where to start from, my brother. You play all those tips.
Start from the broom.
That one part, they already flew people on the broom. Stanton, I send you the president letter to the legislature. And I want you to consider item 4, where the president told the Liberian people through the legislature that he was going to attend the opening.
I'm sorry, brother. The first letter, the second, or the third? Which one of the letter?
The
because
first
we got 3.
letter.
The first
was
letter.
Received on November 8th.
Okay. All right. Let me find it quick.
And because I don't have a lot of time, so I will take one item to make an example of. If you look at number 4 on the first letter.
Yeah, we're trying to put it up, but just go ahead, sir. Number 4, you want me to read it? The opening of the World Cup in Doha, Qatar from November 15th through the 23rd, 2022.
Take note of 2 things there. 1,
all right,
the date and the purpose. He was going to attend the opening, see my finger, of the World Cup from the 15th to the 23rd.
Mm-hmm.
The first game in the World Cup was played on the 20th. The president's son played on the 21st. If you're talking about going to attend the opening and you say the Paris summit was extended, question number 1, did the people wait for Liberia president to finish the extension of the Paris Peace Summit? No. The World Cup happened and the opening was on the 20th. And he watched the son game on the 21st. And he informed the Liberian people that he was going to attend this program from the 15th to the 23rd. After the 23rd, where is the president?
Watching Brazil and Switzerland game.
The president told us he would be in Doha. Is he on the letter?
Is there?
So after the 23rd, what is he doing in Doha? What business he got to do there? Because he said, because the Paris summit was extended, it affected him. But it did not affect the program at the World Cup. All the dates continue. So after the 23rd to the 29th and the 30th, what are you doing there? You didn't tell us that's what you were going to do. But when you wrote the second letter to extend your stay, I reference you again to the second letter. Are you there?
Which number?
The whole thing down there. You will see nothing about him going to stay from the 23rd to the 30th. Instead, what you will see is a new line. You can read that there.
Number 1.
Hey, can you did that?
Number 1.
The last sentence. Or you can read
The
number
last...
1 up. Can read number 1.
Yeah. The 5th edition of the Paris Peace Forum, which I attended in Paris, France, was extended from November 15, 2022 to November 18, 2022.
Good.
But let me ask you, let me pause you.
No, leave it. That's why they sleep out. Don't leave it up. Don't leave it up.
Necessitating an adjustment in my attendance as a guest of honor of FIFA at the World Cup in Doha from November 18, 2022 to November 30th.
What did he say in the first letter?
He was staying there up to the 23rd.
He was attending the opening.
The opening.
Up to the 23rd.
Now the people say, President, please don't leave. We want you to stay to the end.
Yeah, in necessitating the word.
Yeah.
To stay there now until the 30th. What for? This is where government, when you don't have the right person to give out the information, and then you have Kev sit on the set and say, Fagon, you're going to say that and let her say this? Fagon don't work for you no more, Kev. He don't work for your government. The people you're paying, let them do their job. If I rubbish these 2 letters, you won't let me go to your house again. So let me just leave it.
Fagon, I got a question for you.
Yeah,
Fagon, I have a question for you. You can't just leave it, right? Let's try to simplify this. The president said, okay, I'm begging you guys, I got to be here till the 23rd. His first letter.
Yes.
This letter saying, oh, you know what? But those on the radio, let me understand that. You know what? The man enjoying himself, the Hennessy SO flowing, everything coming in place. The man said, my man, you extend that into the 30th. The man pulled out a second letter. Yeah, your second letter. The people say, oh, President, well, we appreciate you so much. Please don't leave. Stay till the 30th. But I will say this to you, though, Mr. Fagon. U.S. and Iran game is tomorrow, the 29th. The president will be watching the 3rd match of the United States government, the United States football team. The first one, the second one, and the 3rd one. He will watch it all. The question now, if America wins tomorrow, it means that they will play again, Mr. Fagon. So therefore, the lawmakers should expect another letter. Because you must say that again.
No.
No, Fagon, let me finish. I know what you're going to say. No, but you know, when it comes to this thing, President, we already he have incorporated the game plan in this letter.
Exactly.
Because he began to think and say, but if we win on Tuesday, me, I gotta stay to watch the other game. So this is what he said. He said, you know what? I have been invited to attend the 13th edition of the Peace and Sport International Forum.
You see that? The private jet.
November 30th through the 3rd of December. But you understand, he's not done. Thereafter, I will travel to the United States of America, where I will hold meeting with various, that one you know that Lelo. That's also fly on this thing, hold meeting. From December 4th to December 12th. Listen, guys. It's okay for the president to just play on few Liberians. But it's very bad when he used that against his own people that brought him to power and expect the best of him. It's very, very wicked. And nobody around the president. Now, you know what people are crying today about Stanton? I got a lot of messages coming to me, Mariah. Oh, Stanton, why you put my name there? Oh, Stanton, you know, I went halfway on the trip. Oh, I didn't make it to the football game. Stanton, but you're not so. No. These are the same people that will be justifying why they shouldn't be on sanction. These are the same people that will be justifying, I told the president, oh, he didn't listen. Tomorrow, they will be the same people that say, someone that will be acting like Emmanuel Shaw. I told Chancellor didn't listen. The white Chancellor at today. They will be the same people saying those things. Because nobody, none of them, have the courage to look in the president's eyes and say, Mr. President, this is wrong. This is a wasteful trick. Wasteful trick. It's wrong. You cannot tell the country how much money you give the president. We had someone talking about road fund money, but where the road have the decision on that, we'll come to that later. But guys, before we leave, I want to show you this, something that is happening at the National Election Commission.
I mean, you got the latest rumors in town?
Oh, bad.
They said Timothy told her that you went there when I was playing, when I was little. You were playing for money. You got to be here now and watch me play. So Daddy said, all right.
Okay, we're gonna leave that, but let's try to put this up. We got to put this up. There's something happening. I think, James, can you pull it up? The National Election Commission will receive a full document today about a serious issue happening. Oh my God, what's the letter? I sent you guys the letter, though. James Gooder, can you put this letter up, please? Oh boy. All right. Go ahead, say something. Sintumani George, Kev Hassan, whosoever. Let's try to put this letter up because we're about to leave. Let me find the letter, please.
Okay, can I say something to that letter?
Yes,
Where
go
he
ahead.
talked about his U.S. visit and he'll be meeting with, besides the U.S. Africa summit, he talked about meeting with different categories of people, and it's not even explicit to say who exactly he will be meeting with. And I think it's so misleading because these meetings are not held, like they're not organized overnight. These are meetings that are scheduled long before time. So if you're meeting with anybody, you should be able to state the specific name, the office that you'll be meeting with, whether it's a specific senator, it's a head of some corporate entity, organization, whoever you're meeting with as the president. That meeting should already be scheduled by now, before December 9th to 11th. So if you can state to the legislature who you're meeting with, you just add everything together. Wait, what does the letter say exactly? So
you got the letter.
Yeah, that one time he'll be meeting Kumi's friends then.
Yeah, so and this was the first letter.
Number 4.
Yeah.
I
No,
see you
that
are aware.
up. Not this
Number
one.
4, I see you are aware. I have been invited
Right,
by Mr.
right.
Joseph Robert Browning.
Right.
Blank. Number 3, thereafter I will travel to the United States of America, where I will
hold meetings
meeting
with various business
business.
and political leaders of the U.S.
But you know that one apply. Let's move on, man.
No, but these are the kind of things that Liberians need to know and understand. The person is lying. Because if there were any meetings scheduled with business leader, you should state who the business leader is. And you're not just writing to anybody, you're writing to the legislature.
I think, let me say this. I think sometimes those that are around President, they want to please him so badly, and they forget that he's the president of the Republic of Liberia. They just forgot that he's the president of the Republic of Liberia, and this is so misleading. George Manuel will come to America, go to Miami because he wanted to prove a point. That he said I couldn't travel outside of New York. Now I'm in Florida. He's going to chill. They're going to party. Right now, the weather is so beautiful over there. I'm thinking about traveling there myself. And guess what happened? Ask Antoine George. Ask Ben Senvi. Ask Dr. Peabody. They went over there. They refused to leave. They refused to leave. You guys don't have blast. They had a great time. But here's the issue. The president will be having fun. Just because someone told him, say, you cannot leave New York. So he will leave the people of Liberia. So let's put this letter up. This is important while we close. A letter to Honorable David Eto Brown Lasana, Chairperson, National Election Commission. You guys should have it. All right. Councilor P. Tipla Reeves, Co-Chair NEC. I will encourage every one of you to read this letter for us to discuss this tomorrow. Mariah, you have it. I will encourage every one of you for you guys to read it. Let's discuss it tomorrow. So tomorrow you have it. Kev Hassan, you have it. They are seriously, something is going on. The reason why I want to bring about this story is because it has something to do with our election. As chairperson, I'll read the last paragraph. You made it crystal clear to the policy decision body, which is the Board of Commissioners, that you have recused yourself from this procurement proceeding. I want to have a clear understanding, Madam Chair, who wrote PCC for a no objection letter when the bid evaluation panel did not follow instruction on the process that they should have followed. Tipla Reeves is totally in disagreement because the chairperson said, I will recuse myself. You'll discuss it. Then she appoints somebody to bring about the next company called Laxton, Laxton. And Laxton is performing like king. Pam. I recuse myself, Mr. Fagon. But yet I stay at testimony, my man. Recommend this company. You already want to read this letter. It's like 4 pages. And we will go into it tomorrow to tell the Liberian people that if this is not resolved, our election process in the country, I think opposition leaders should read this letter and understand what is going on. What is going on? Opposition leaders, lawmakers should read this letter and understand. This person that wrote this letter, Councillor P. Tipla Reeves, this is a bunch. It was written on the 22nd. Everything that was sent in the chat room between this person and David Eto Lasana. David Eto said, I will be out of the country as of today. You continue to follow that I have rescued myself from the BOC decision to select a vendor from the remaining 4 vendors for the BVR equipment procurement process. As we discussed in the BOC meeting, you and other commissioners can instruct the BVR bid evaluation panel to select a vendor from the 4 remaining vendors. You can go ahead to set into motion. Attached here too is a copy of a WhatsApp message from you, your dated November 12, 2023 Mark Exhibit 3C. Madam Chair, they were talking to David Eto now. Madam Chair, based on your instruction as indicated in your WhatsApp message dated November 12th, informing me that you will be out of the Bellwick, and I should go ahead and set in motion, I started work by writing an inner office memo to Anthony Tich Jallo, chairman and member of the BVR bid evaluation panel. That committee review and select the most responsive bidder amongst the remaining 4. And after it was all said and done, Madam Chair did something different. You have the message, you will read it, tomorrow we'll come and explain. We got a lot of other messages coming forth from this letter. And I think political leader, in the interest of the country and transparency, you guys need to open your eyes on this document and what is happening. Dr. Francine Chinwe Richardson, do your closing. I will share the remaining document with you guys. I said where I usually said Fagon, and people send me this document. This letter was written by Councillor P. Tipla Reeves, co-chair NEC, to Honorable David Eto Brown Lasana, chairperson, National Election Commission, on the 22nd, 2022. Another very important information coming up. Lawrence George, who was promoted to run the Legis, I just don't want to say it, but I have to. He issued a letter to Patrick Sudu. And let me share the letter with you guys. I just thought I did. He issued a letter to Patrick Sudu, and the letter read, hold on 1 minute while I share this. James, can you put it up, please? You guys have the letter there. This is the letter that was issued to Patrick Sudu from Acting Director General Lawrence A. George Sr. Dear Honorable Sudu, I present compliment. Well, I don't care about the compliment. That's the intro, it's okay. In recent weeks, we have observed increased act of obstruction and sabotage being perpetrated by some employees of Legis, with the sole aim of causing delay and subsequent failure of the National Census project. They have illegally undertaken act of sabotage through the theft of enumerations, gadgets, incitement, and collusion to handle census activities, including mobilization and everything. Please read it, because if somebody get it on the computer, please read it. It's not too clear from my end. But at the end of the day, you have 2 of the drivers from Legis. They are in jail. They are seeking the legal help to get them out. We have a very important breaking news tomorrow. Lawrence George never acted on his own. He acted instruction from Samuel Twe. Samuel Twe called Lawrence George when these people say we want our money, and they wrote Patrick Sudu. They detained 2 of the driver. We have all those information. We'll be sharing it. This letter was given to Patrick Sudu. As you see, the date, November 28, 2022, today. The drivers have not taken pay. Enumerators, some of them have not taken pay. They're saying that they will arrest them. They will put them in jail, and they are asking Patrick Sudo to do so. You have the document. We will send you the rest of it. Guys, sorry we cannot go into all of these different information coming up, but we are in another Wahala. Dr. Chinwe, do your closing. Mariah, St. Thomas and Joe, you can have time, and the Honorable Minister will take us home. Why are they arresting them? I think it was you, Fagona, said it. Those students that came from Ghana will not go back. They're picking up with ticket.
But I finished telling you the thing long
You
time.
said it, Fagon. And that's what's happening right now.
Tell the Liberian people that when Samuel Tueka was flipping the third time as it was in the air, someone sent me the message.
Yeah, you did. You did. And you sent out to me. But I will say this to everyone. This is very, very serious. You shouldn't arrest the numerators. Those guys have not gotten paid, most of them. They are sacrificing. You're talking about putting them in jail. You're asking Patrick Sudo to step in to arrest them. You have not paid them.
A lot
you
of
have
the
text
people not run away
messages.
with the things, Stanton. You scared to talk to them?
I won't wait for tomorrow. But that's Dr. Richardson, please.
You know, we have established here that we Liberians do not deserve this treatment from the president. When you are a president, we expect that you are law-abiding, you are a chief citizen. That's what we expect. But in our case, our president here is a deadbeat president. He does not care for the Liberian people. We established that. That's what we've been talking here tonight. He cannot do the job of the presidency. Like Mariah constantly said, this job is too big for him. So what we need to do is we need to vote him out during the next election so that we can move forward with developing our country. We need a leader who knows about system, who has worked in a system in this modern world that we have. Everything is about system. It's not about how I feel. It's about rule of law. It's about documentation. And we want someone who's been a system that can contribute to making good school for our children, good hospital. So when something happens to you, no matter who you are, there'll be a system, a hospital in place with medicine, not just a frame or structure that people will say, oh, got hospital here, blah, 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 blah. Okay? We want somewhere where you can go there, where they can have medicine for you, your family, that you'll be able to be taken care of. We want to take care of your mental health. There's a lot of us in the country that are numb. There's a lot of people that are suffering in our country. I was listening to that girl who told me she'd been passing around all day. She couldn't even get someone. She could barely get buyers to buy her product. And that caused a lot of hardship. We want a leader who can address those, who can understand the hardship that Liberians are going through. And we know there's one person who has worked in systems, okay, multiple systems, system in Liberia, system in Africa, system in the United States, and that's Mr. Cummings. So when you're looking to think about who you want to elect, those are the leadership qualities that you need to be looking for, someone who's system-oriented. I want to speak to Liberians too. Sometimes Liberians in the United States, we say, oh, that the Liberian people problem. No, it is our problem as well. We in Liberian here, we need to partner with the Liberians back home and help support them in a way that we can make our country a better place. Because when they don't sleep at night, when they have to find food, they got to pick up the phone to call us here. All of us in this country, to some extent, we got some kind of relative there. I know all of us can worry. So let's partner with them, engage in educating our Liberians. We've seen how system work over here in this country. We know what progress look like. We don't see the president in this country leave the country unattended and just go and spend taxpayer money to another country and sit down there to watch football game. The United States team is playing right now. I never saw Joe Biden. The conversation I saw, and please forgive me, I don't follow it. But I saw him do a conversation on the phone with the players. They put the phone on loudspeaker when you are talking to the players there. Okay? So
Joey, on my behalf.
Yes. Okay. So I'm kind of asking you, Liberians here in this country, Let's make our country better. All right. Let's partner with our people when they call. Let's educate them and tell them what is right.
1 minute, guys. Thank you, Dr. Richardson. I hate
I
to
wasn't
just.
finished yet, though.
I
Okay.
thank you, Dr. Richardson, because it's 6:30. Dr. Is 11:30 in Labra.
Okay.
Thank you. Let's
I
stick
will
to the
give you
time.
the pass today.
Mariah, you want
I
to
will
go
not add
ahead?
a kef.
Yes. Stanton, careful understand when freedom, because freedom people will say, Gege na
One not
na.
yet.
Joe, we are getting presidency and he now won it. He now tell the Liberian people in so many ways that he does not want to be president. He now tell us in more than one way he able the job big for him. He would rather go sing his music, make his album. In fact, matter of fact, we had the MTN Music Awards, and Yeke said he was going to go there to collect the president award because while the president had made all this on it and they having music award, they can nominate or award him. That's what the president is interested in. Making music, playing sports at his Invisible Park that he spent I don't know how many millions for, and he still can account to the Liberian people. Enjoying himself, chilling at Jamaica Resort, or making fun out of God on the pulpit at his church, fucking clone church. The president spends more time doing those things than actually being president. It's clear he does not want to be president. He not made his history. He not become president. He not won it. He won it. And it is only right that the Liberian people get the message and say, thank you, Joey. That we don't want to wrong you. That we don't want to make you president. We don't want to trust you with our vote, with our confidence to make our life better. And the only thing you need to do that to make you and your cronies, Kalasco, Seku, Miguel, 17 Continent Mayor, Koji, all of them, lives better. We the one look for our own trouble. And at this point, we need to look out for ourselves now. And in doing that, is to say thank you. But 2023, we will look at somebody who has the ability and the capacity and the experience in working in the private sector and creating jobs, because that's the one thing Liberians need. Liberians have become beggars under this president. How can anybody live on $45 a month? And all they need, Liberians are proud people. We are hardworking people. We just need the opportunities. We just need to have the jobs available. Liberians will work to take care of them and their families without having to go to Carrasco on gate every morning or to go to Joshua gate every morning. They don't need to be begging to pay their children's school fees, to pay hospital bills. They don't. They just need the opportunity to get a job, to do something with their lives and take care of them and their families. And we know for a fact that the one person who can create that conducive environment to create jobs for Liberians, to invest in the private sector, to expand the private sector, is Mr. Cummings, because he has the experience in the private sector. And we need to be able to put ourselves first over our love for Joshua or any other person who's popular or not. This is about you. This is about your children. This is about your grandchildren. It is not about Joshua. Joshua sitting in Qatar watching his son play football for the United States team. Their lives are made. The future is great. What can you say about you and yours? That's a food for thought. And lastly, I just want to say that BBC interview, today the CDC people in play to cost me. In fact, one of them called me, and I can't even say that word on the show. Hopo Joe for talking against the president on BBC. But as we clearly listen tonight, I wasn't one of those interviewed on BBC. But I get it. It comes to the territory. The only thing I just asking Jonathan Pelleri, please can interview me so they can cost me for free. At least so the cost can go in vain. Let me get on BBC too. Because I'm not on BBC. the younger one
is playing for another team.
So hold on 1 minute.
His country.
You are not the person?
No, I'm not.
This is something I
All right, let's listen to the person name. 1 minute.
A young leader and member of the ruling party CDC and a supporter of the president. She told me why she's not happy. How is that perceived? Does it?
I beg you, let it call the name.
The irony. George Weah is one of Africa's biggest footballers and the only African player to date to have been voted best footballer in the world when he won the Ballon d'Or in 1995. Now he's a president of a country struggling to make its national team a success and be represented at international level, let alone the World Cup, something George Weah never got to do with Liberia. So is it really bad for him now as a father to want to leave that feeling through his offspring, through his son, even though the younger Weah is playing for another team, his country of birth, the United States? This is something I asked Karishma Pelamrad.
Oh, Karishma.
A member of the ruling party seat.
It was a year with Karishma panel. Okay.
That Benzema girlfriend.
I'm not asking who girlfriend she is. I just
that Benzema, that her man, she like Benzema, and he ordered the World Cup.
So, but that Karishma. So we know the Kev friend. Yeah. Kev and Karishma were hanging out at Boulevard Palace. But go ahead, talk to us.
It wasn't me. If it was me, no, I would say it was me. But they ain't plan to lash me today. But anyway, like I said, that cousin when I'm going to don't play the applicant interview me too. But lastly, let me say happy birthday to my father, Councillor Lawrence Sekula. Today is his birthday. And I just want to say I love you. We're glad we were able to put a smile on your face yesterday. And I wish you many, many more years to come. 1 year to 70. Next year, we're going to do it big. Happy birthday, Papa.
Thank you. Happy birthday, Councillor Yakula. Happy birthday to you. We wish you well and Godspeed. Before Sintomani comes, because you were talking about birthday too, I want to say happy birthday to Louis Tamba. Louis, when we went to Minnesota, she gave us some nice potato screen. We want to say happy birthday to you, Madam Louis Tamba. We wish you Godspeed. I'm not going to call her age. She said it to me, but I think she looked 21. We want to wish you happy birthday. And look at those beautiful flowers. We wish you everything you ever dream of and God's protection. Happy birthday to Madam Louis Tamba. Go ahead, Sintomani. Let me get this out of the way before I forget. Chief?
Well, first of all, one of the questions, what is the foreign minister doing in Qatar? He should be in with the African serious performance minister will be in Washington, D.C., doing all the groundwork before the president can arrive for that Biden African summit so that it'll be easier. But I see he's sitting down there watching football game like he got anybody playing it. That's what we talk about. I mean, you should not be over there. That's not his place. D. Maxwell, come here. I want you should report to Washington, D.C. and be there. That what you be right now preparing for the president trip to Washington. You shouldn't be in Qatar. That's why you should belong. But you been a joke out of our country, man. Come on, you should be over there. You should be in Washington, D.C. But
again, I hate to interrupt you, my brother. I hate to interrupt you, my dear brother Sintomani George. But he's there with the president. The president should tell him.
Exactly.
It's not, listen, as much as Kamaya you're playing sometime, the president you got to be thinking whether actually George Manor where we attend this Biden summit. You should be thinking about that seriously. He's there with the president.
Should be.
The president should understand that this man should go ahead. He's the John the Baptist. He should go be the way maker for the coming Messiah. Okay, but he's there. He eating jollof and queen. But you want to say, come here, go? No, brother. This thing at Joe, we are failure, man. But go ahead, my brother.
I expect to see that. I expect to see the foreign minister in Washington D.C. now, the maritime commissioner. They should all be there right now because they'll be the job related to what's happening in Washington D.C. should be there, preparing the groundwork. But I'm surprised that in Qatar, it's a problem. But look, we're in a situation where we need to speak up, and like what happened in the last few weeks. I've noticed that they have practically almost unite the opposition community, because people that were on the fence, I'm hearing them telling me now, look, we can't stand this. We got to get involved now. I said, wow, all of them getting involved now because the president stayed country long. Everybody getting involved. People that were on the fence, they were saying they're watching it, they're all involved, working behind the scene. The president seemed his long absence seemed to have united opposition somewhere or the other. I mean, I'm taking a keen look at Councillor Gonglo. I've been watching him. He's been saying some good things. It's getting serious though. Getting serious. I saw Mrs. Cummings engaged in the community. That's good. That was a good move she made on the weekend. By engaging the community, I think she got her own power tool. She can bring the people together. I think they should use her more often. Instead of keeping her away, she should be part of the trip. I think she made a good move. I also see the former vice president. I see they are all monitoring the situation, but opposition people have noticed that they are all talking one way or the other. They are talking and they're rallying themselves together to see how best they can take this thing or come next year, because we got 360 more days. The time is moving faster, and with the NEC there, I hope the opposition community can come together with the national partners and engage them, because the other Brown last time, I don't know what's the problem, but I think they're trying to just be playing games with like internal 14 now going on is something room for concern. But the main thing they should be focusing on, that voter roll should be cleaned up thoroughly, because that's why Bronskin sued them for last year, and the issue came from that voters roll. But I'm sure that the opposition guys will still sit together. So I pray and hope that we can see things changing soon. Again, the president should find a way to at least step up, leave Qatar, and perhaps either come back to the country to address issues in the country. Because Liberians are speaking through the media. They're not happy. President can return to the country and address these issues and take care of issues in the country. We don't know what happened at Legis, but I think the census is going on. But we'll hear about it later on. But the issues that needs to be addressed. And those ministers that shouldn't be in Qatar, they should leave that country now, man. Go back to the country and do what you got to do. You can't be in the country just sitting and watching football game. And think about it, you guys go, you won't be showing off on Instagram and stuff. I mean, you're teasing Liberian people. That being insensitive to the people, you can't be on Instagram.
I can smell my people.
I hope that they can reason and try to get an act together. But lastly, I met a great family at Stanton's grandmother-in-law's birthday, 80th birthday. Mr. Harvey J. Dix and his wife Annie G. Dix, their 30th wedding anniversary was yesterday. And Mr. Dix want to say happy 30th anniversary and best wishes. You're also the president of the Feel Good Men of Baltimore. You're a great man, and I appreciate you very well. And lastly, today is the birthday of the medical director of Redemption Hospital, and my friend and sister, Dr. Sweet Williams. Today her birthday. She's celebrating a grand style.
I stand to wait, laughing.
Happy birthday.
Yeah.
Happy birthday, Sweet.
Leave her laughing. No,
Yes.
listen to too many.
My sister.
I'm confused. He said my friend and my sister, so I don't know which
your
is
friend
which.
or sister, yeah.
But ain't you different, brother?
Happy birthday. I'm also say friend. Man, Susie, happy birthday. Enjoy your birthday. You having fun at the place in Liberia. Have fun. Enjoy yourself. Happy
birthday to Papa, birthday mate.
Thank you.
Okay.
And also, happy birthday to Councillor Lawrence Yakula, 69th birthday. May God bless you and wish you good health and longevity.
Amen. But let her go to Dr. Peabody, then we'll leave the two Bummy brother by themselves. Dr. Peabody.
Well, again, I join with others in wishing happy birthday to Councillor Yakula and to Brother Harvey Dix, my former classmate from Monrovia College, and your wife on your anniversary, and all others who celebrating their birthday today. But let me say that the optics is bad when you see that. Ghana played today, and President Nana Akufo-Addo only sent a message to his team. I mean, he had all right to be sitting in that stadium and cheering because Ghana is in the World Cup. He had all right to be there, but I think he had the most serious business to take care of in Monrovia in Accra than to go and sit in Qatar and watching a football game. I think it's bad when you see government officials that should be there in Liberia. They are posting on Facebook and Instagram. The optic is bad for the country, the people, especially those. But again, I don't have any problem with the president going to watch his son play. That should be every parent's proud to watch his son play. That should be the proud. But at least he could have done this in 2 or 3 visits, 2 or 3 something. Maybe 1 or 2 to watch his son play. He's entitled to watch his son play. He could have done that. Come home, go back, come and go back. That's your child. Or watch 2 games, go back and come back and watch the next one. But to sit over there for this length of time and nothing is happening and the country is not, it's very, very sad, and again, it's left for the Liberian people. I mean, we can sit there and talk all we want. It's left for the Liberian people. I mean, they know what they're going through. They know what they are faced with. If you think it's okay, it's left for you, yeah, do it. We can't make you do, we can only say what it is and leave it with you to make the decision. But it's left for them. Honestly, it's left for the Liberian people. I'm not going to sit here and kill myself over them because
that's a Peabody. That's a Aaron.
Give me another week. They'll be all over again when he's coming home. They'll come line the street from that airport all over the city, and so I'm not going to kill myself. But let me say here too that on a sad note, I'd like to wish Minister Toy and his family. They are in my prayers and best wish. I pray that they are fine. I pray that they get the treatment they need and they get back on the speedy recovery. We're praying for you and your family. But thank you very much, man. Thank you.
They still have Phoebe.
That move on.
They still have Phoebe.
I'm not sure. I'm not
sure.
sure.
Ask Kev Hassan. He will give us that information. I really don't know. We wish him well yesterday, and we move on. Kev Hassan, you can give us update if you want to, but do your closing, sir.
I always advise some of my female friends, and so when you're meeting a guy, some of the red flag that you're supposed to look for. When a man comes to you and you're telling them your problem and they're telling you, don't stay with that guy, don't stay with that guy, don't stay with that guy, he's so bad, but come to me. That's a red flag. Don't stay with that guy. And we hear, listening to a member of the opposition that's so dominant on the show, that talking against the president. By the way, Dr. Peabody, Ghana president was in Qatar. I just want to clear that for you. Kwaki Kami was there. So I just want to clear that out. No, I'm not talking to him, all right? I just want to.
He has all right to be there. His country is playing.
I just want to clear that to you. You say he just sent a message where he was there. I just want to clear that.
The message that he sent on Facebook. I read his message.
Let me continue. I just want to clear that for you. So when people come around every single day, beating on this government, and turn around and tells you, vote for my guy. It's like the guy who telling this girl, your husband is so bad, your boyfriend is so bad, come to me. That's a red flag. That's a red flag there. people should look out for those dangerous people. Every day they come and beat on the government. Guess what? At the end, can't vote for my guy. So I don't know why, they're having free publicity on the show. Maybe they're using the Spoon Network for their own benefit, because that's what I think they are. They are users to use the Spoon Network for their own benefit, because they are not doing it for the people. They are only coming on Spoon to use Spoon for their own benefit, because they are not doing it for the people. Because if you're doing it for the people, you're not going to say, so come to me now, come to me. No. You will talk, you leave it. Let the people judge. Let the people make up their own mind. Don't tell them, Central West is bad, but come to me. We have to look out for, wolf in sheep clothing. They are around. People who will come to you, they will go in your churches, they will go in your mosque, but they have the hidden agenda. They have a culture which they belong to. And I'm speaking to you, religious people. What you believe, and you put people coming into your churches, your mosque, but they have their own hidden beliefs, what they want to do to our children, what they want to bring to our children, our people. I'm calling on the mosque, the churches, to stand up for what you're believing. Because our country is a religious country. When people want to come and bring out a certain lifestyle, we have to reject it. Because they preach it to you. They're not telling you who they are. When we ask them, they tell us that they are struggling with it. When we ask them, they are struggling with that lifestyle they want to bring to you. So they come on Spoon, they propagate like they want to be for you. But we should not be no fool. We should check them. How can somebody come and say, you buy, but come to me, not leaving you to make your own judgment? That's how they're going to force certain life down your throat. The reason I keep pushing that, because we know it. We know how it destroys our young boys and girls in that country. They want to turn this country back into that system. They don't like you. They don't need you. They want you to tie their shoes. They want our female to tie their shoes. They want you to hold it on a hammock.
All right, Kev Hassan.
They don't like you.
It's close enough. Thank you.
Can I confirm
that?
No, Dr. Richardson, we're not doing it. No.
The president of Ghana was not at the game today. I can confirm.
Guys, it's okay. It's okay.
But a man who is abusing a woman, tell her that he's not abusing her. It's also abuse. It's a red flag as well.
You cannot interrupt, Cap.
No, I just thought it was important to talk about red flag.
We don't want no clarity. No, Dr. Richardson, you talk also, give the brother a chance to speak.
No, I just wanted to correct that point there.
No, it's enough of the correction. The man finished speaking. Let's move. I'm begging you, Dato.
Let me round up.
Yeah, please wrap this thing up, Kev.
Let me round this thing up.
You still talking?
The reason we have to bring some of these things to the light, right? Because
the only way you can resort to the lies.
The alternative that they say they are is an alternative that Liberia should reject.
Remember that school of psychology that I
It's
taught
an
the last time.
alternative that Liberia should not bring.
You meeting me?
Thank you. Yes, I beg you, please. We gotta go. Eugene Fagon, can you come in? I beg you guys, please.
No, but still,
Yes, you finished now. We're begging you. Fagon, can you come in? Yes, everybody had equal time.
Yeah,
please.
but they interrupted me.
Can you go ahead? Please, Eugene.
Anyway, thank you. I hope you will give me 10 minutes like Kev to just say one thing over and over.
Exactly.
You see, everybody on the steps is going to attack you. But let me ask you. Let me ask you one favor. Can I just go attend to my son? I will see you on the show tomorrow. Can I go? Because I can't sit here. I have a bunch of attacks. Can I just go and attend to
it will not be fair. People patiently listen to you. Fagon is the last one.
No, because
if you want to go, it's up to you, Kev. Fagon, go ahead.
Kev, your excuse. We'll start off on talking.
No, because the thing is, they stop me from closing. By closing, they interrupt.
You stop for 10 minutes. Who stopped you?
If I go start the show to attack me. No, it's not fair. I cannot be defending against.
I can't, man. Get other people chance to talk. You're not baby on this here. Get other men to talk.
Give other people to damn talk, man. When people the damn way people interrupt.
You know, baby on the show. Let men talk. You know, baby, yeah.
No, don't do that. Don't do that. Don't ever tell me that, man.
He's on rattling. Now how you know you're in a hot seat. Kev, go check your blood pressure.
Six people. And when I want to close this, why didn't you
nobody attacking you here? Get a man chance to talk. That's what I mean.
So why didn't you give me a chance to
get honor your skin in this?
Give me a chance to talk. You got it.
It's not on my skin.
Okay,
yeah.
It's not fair enough.
I mean, let me talk. You're not baby here. Please.
Let me close. It's not fair enough. It's wrong. It's not fair enough.
I'm not talking about
you're not going to have a way on the show. That man will talk. You're not going to have a way on now. Let that man talk.
So why you interrupted me?
Who?
You.
I did not.
You never came in and start talking
about a chance to talk. I'm going to talk all day. Then I will leave if you continue talking. I will leave. That's enough.
That's enough. Steve, then.
No, you want to go. I'm not leaving.
All right, Dr. Peabody, please. Dr. Peabody, please. Kev Hassan. Thank you. Kev Hassan, thank you. Honorable Fagon, please go ahead.
All right. Well, thank you.
And you call my name, I will come in. You call my name, I will come in. You call my name, I will come in.
Nobody should call Kev then.
Yes, you call my name.
Nobody should call. Fagon.
No, seriously.
Fagon. You take me us home. Please don't call Kev name, please. Don't call his name.
Man, you know, this reminds me about almost 4 years as Deputy Minister for Press and Public Affairs. Some of the beginning will just cut on your skin. Pop! If you're not smart, you pick up on that, you go on. You finish. Topic change, you're into different team. But anyways, on a serious note, let me start by saying this. Government officials need to understand that Liberia is a country of culture and traditions, a country of laws. My thoughts and prayers are with my friend and brother, the Minister of Finance. But I just want to say something quick, and everyone here should listen carefully. We were on the way, we went to the mansion to clean the mansion. And Rebecca McGill, the sister of Nathaniel McGill, came to see us. And we all praised her for her new car, a Prado. When she got out of the mansion you are tearing down from the Ministry of Information, where the old Lands and Mines used to be, bam, that white car. My girl late brother was in the car. He passed out. Had to rush everybody to the hospital. Jefferson Koji, on his way to attend the Day of the African Child, Totota, bam! Thankfully, another big vehicle walk out. Nathaniel McGill, on his way from Nimba, he was a man, if anybody know what I'm talking about. So he took all his gifts and gave it to Ambassador Jake Brown, the former NSA Assistant Director for Cyber Intelligence. And Jake Brown put that stuff in his car, all the stuff. And that car somersaulted 3 times and got damaged. On the way from Lofa, after everything, Minister Tua's car, the only car, flipped multiple times. When we go in these areas, I just want to say to government officials, deal with your people culturally and traditionally, because when you miss, you will not know what happened coming back on the road, honestly. Having said that, to comment on everything that we've said here tonight, I think the president is not doing himself justice. And again, when I say this, people think I'm bragging, Stanton, but I did this for almost 4 years. And I know what I suffered. A 48-day trip, and the Minister of Information is not on the trip. When the president comes back, he will not address the nation like he does the United Nations. His in-laws will say, no, 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 no. Then the president will go to church on Sunday. Then everybody who said they were not happy, this he will respond to everybody. All the information that's supposed to come from the trip is not filtering into the country like it should be. All the defense mechanism is not in place for all of what is happening. There is a complete collapse of the government PR. And I will be honest here by saying, why it's true that Ledger, who picked a beef with me with all his nonsense that he did, clearly you can see it's not his fault. The people decided to go and leave him behind. They don't want to tell him anything either. And the reason is because they say when he go on trip, he can drink Heineken, he can't talk. How he would talk if you don't know? If you don't tell him? If you send it over to my brother on spoon for him to talk. When he finish talking, what a man need to go talk for again? So I think there is a complete collapse of the government PR system that needs to be overhauled. And I think the president needs to start thinking about how he will address the Liberian people when he returns home. Lastly, I'd like to say happy birthday to my darling mother. November 28th, we sang that song. We have the same thing, Yakula, your dad. My mother is Maima Vaola Wright of Arlington, Georgia Road West.
Nice.
Now I'd like to say she and my girlfriend have the same birthday, November 28th. So I would like to say happy birthday to Madam Dede Hawa Smith. Actually,
Nice.
she's celebrating on the SKD Boulevard. Aye. Guinea's then suffering for position, but that's okay. And last year we sang happy birthday to my mother. I want to appreciate the Spoon Network. My man Tomalin was the one who raised the happy birthday song. I'd like to say happy birthday to all of those who have happy birthday, including Sabah Roberts of Baltimore, Maryland. And Stanton, thank you for the opportunity here. But I have this to say to my brother Kev. My mother taught me, as you see her on the screen, you were there in the house. Don't you cause a dam unless you can knock a dam. Meaning, don't say something unless you can fight for it. If you're going to come on here and defend the CDC, people will get under your skin. People will say stuff. But if you're going to let your emotions and sentiments get the best of you, you will not deliver the CDC message. And like you said to me, that, oh, you sitting here, you can't allow Yakula to say, I am not the one making 5,800 or 4,000 or the 3,200 they used to cheat me and give me. I'm no longer in that position. I don't want to be there. If even you pay me 50,000 now, Tomani know how I feel. Look at what they're doing to the minister there now and the deputy. There are certain people that go around the president. You have to hustle your own way to get information. I'm not going to be in that position. I'm not going to defend the government. Even the CDC now. I'll give you breaking news tonight. 2 breaking news. And you can do it for tomorrow, Stanton. Your show will be great. Do you know that the new Corps of officers voted to amend the CDC constitution as in the Congress for Democratic Change? Check it out. At this convention, to serve for a period of 7 years as opposed to 4 years that they serve for. Oh, Tomali, you are hiding it? Did that story? Wait, I'm at time, Tomali. No, interrupt. Because you know, after George reattempted, they want to be there in the CDC to decide who would go. That's not democracy. The second breaking news. You saw the situation, a 2-day protest with the employees of the Ministry of Information. The situation have not been resolved. Massive corruption uncovered over the years and the people being paid low amount. Unfortunately, I received the death news of the IAA, Internal Audit Agency representative in that ministry. They said she just got sick, landed in India, and now she's gone. So, whether she was sick from natural causes, I don't know. I don't know how it happened. But as this thing unfolds with that ministry and people being paid $45, this is not the time to be hearing these kinds of things as an auditor within the ministry that is dubbed the most corrupt ministry now. I think it's disturbing. And I like to say on this note, it is hard to defend the indefensible or sometimes to defend that which is not to be defended. I respectfully submit on this note. Happy birthday to my mom. Happy birthday to my girlfriend.
Happy birthday to your
We
mom.
want to say happy birthday to your mother. And indeed, we wish your mother.
Happy birthday to your mom, man.
Well, I'm saying happy birthday to your
man.
mother, but I don't know what I should
birthday
say.
to my
Happy
Arkansas
birthday.
family.
I really don't know what I should say. Happy birthday to your girlfriend because I got to be very careful tonight. You know.
Something wrong with
Happy
you. Something wrong with you. I got your video of you dancing. Try it.
So I want to say happy birthday to your mother and your girlfriend. But let me say this.
You hear me? I said I found one more on the ugly man.
Yeah, need that one. But let me say this. Fagan, on a very serious issue here concerning our country, Liberia, it is what it is. You serve your country well, you will always serve your country. So each his own. As we come to the closing of the program, you know, I make some inquiry concerning, let me just say this for tomorrow, concerning sanctions. I make some inquiry concerning sanctions, right? And last week or a few weeks back, and we're asking this question. When a political officer from the United States Embassy, right? You remember that clip from OKFM? And he said, but Liberia is a sovereign state based on their own constitution. They should decide. Man, I got a full clarity today. And I will say this, and I want us to go home on this. So tomorrow will be interesting. If I go on, what I received from here in America and Liberia about sanctions individuals that are running, they say, hell no, they will not take their seat and they will not even run. Sanctions are not about Liberia constitution and legal obligation. Sanctions are political. Today, Liberia can say I will put sanction on anybody from Sierra Leone don't come in our country. That's the right America have. America have that right to, for the sake of the national security interests. For the sake of the national security interests. To tell you, say, Fagon, we don't want nothing to do with you. And if anybody on Spoon work with Fagon, we don't want nothing to do with Spoon. We are not saying Spoon do not have their own policies and procedures.
Right.
But we are saying for us,
Yeah,
our
from the
promotion will not go on
Kwame.
Spoon. Spoon will not run our conferences. Spoon will not participate in anything we do.
Mm-hmm.
But if America will be our highest advertisement agent giving us money, then what will we do, Fago?
Well, yeah, it's what is going to happen.
The issue. Here's the issue, Fago. Let me learn with this because we're closing. The guys got to go away after 12. I want us to think on this. I spoke to a very important person. They called a name, and I will leave this name with you guys. They said this is a gentleman that will put on sanction, the United Nations sanction. But Liberia, America refused when they were negotiating to take these folks out of sanction on a child state of government. They refused to sign up to that.
Mm-hmm.
They say, ask Edwin Snow why he can never come back to America.
He's not calling me.
Oh, I forgot. I'm sorry. No. To be frank, because when I put in, I'm sorry, guys. They were just on my man. And I'm about to call Edwin Snow to ask him for clarity. He can come and respond. When I put in the request to have full information that it should clarify the OKID FM piece from the gentleman from the embassy, whether those that are on sanction can contest and whether they can sit as senator if they win. And I can say today on the show, and correct me, folks, we open our network to anybody. You'll come back tomorrow for the breaking news about sanction. I have the document. I have every question answered that I needed to be answered. And I can say, like Eugene, my man Gray would say, what the be what he used when you want to emphasize on this thing?
Take it to the bank.
You can take it to the bank. Understand this very well. This sanction thing will not rest. They say if you have 10 senators on sanction, what become of the Senate? It means America will not do no business with them, and it means that Liberia will be on her own. Guys, let's revisit this sanction conversation. I will share the information with you guys. And I think with the conclusion here is that they're about to give the guys help. And I don't think they will allow them to run. Whosoever will, let them come. We hope somebody can join us tomorrow. 2 hours after that conversation today, driving to work, an hour, 10 minutes in my office, coming back home, I called my brothers in Tumani George. I shared the information with him. And I had goosebumps on my skin. They say you can keep the Liberian Constitution. It's for Liberia. You can talk about Liberia, it's a sovereign state. It's for Liberia. But we will not do no. They said, did you listen to the ambassador press conference he had 2-3 weeks ago? We mean it, and will not do business with any one of those sanctioned individuals. No matter how you spin it, it is why it is. And guys, let's have a conversation on sanction tomorrow. Okay, I will share the information you got. Y'all have a good night.
So you are confirming now that there are 3 persons in the Senate that are sanctioned at the moment.
The people that are in the Senate that are sanctioned at the moment, I will tell you this. The reason why.
And Edwin Snow.
No. I didn't say that. Don't twist my mouth. I know 2 people. I know 2 people in the Senate sanction. And I will tell you this. Vani Sherman, Prince Johnson, the only reason why they stay in the Senate because they were senator when they were placed on sanction. Now they're going again.
As you are negotiating for it.
They are saying that it will be impossible for them to remain as senator. Guys,
he said, I don't know.
Guys, it's big. And I hope you guys will come back. Let's finish this conversation because the sanction thing, I will say this to all my friends.
We are getting one sound.
Let's have a wonderful evening, guys.
Have a good night, guys. Happy birthday, C3.
Don't go. You know who birthday it was? I just checked it. Winfred Russell. His
Oh.
birthday was yesterday.
Oh yeah.
Shout out to Winfred Russell.
Yeah.
Listen, we missed him yesterday, but we want to say,
Winfred, happy
you know what?
birthday, man.
God
Happy
bless
birthday,
you,
Winfred.
Winfred
You
Russell.
know how I
Happy
see with
birthday
you.
to you.
You're a great
Happy
guy.
birthday, Winfred.
All right, y'all have a good one.
I guess now, Anna. Good night. Yeah, good night.
Jeff, good night, brother.
Just you and
Seafree Willis, my brother Seafree, happy birthday. Good night, guys.
Guess you good night, brother.
Guys, I want to say, y'all, thank you, Rufus Divine Cannon. Thank you for holding it down, my brother. It is why it is. You know, in the moment, we spill milk. James Goodell, thank you for a wonderful show for producing. Rufus, thank you. And I believe that Rufus, is your name on the list?
Which list?
They close you up? Aaron.
Absolutely, I have not even heard.
But Rufus too big for that list, CEO. We should not be talking about older people and more children.
Look, I have a family. Hello, Jim.
Man.
You need to put yourself in order.
Rufus, you directly with me. I need the people list.
Yeah, now you need a children list.
I have a family to get up to my big.
Yeah, have a good night, man.
I didn't children on that list. Aaron, Yegazi, Nelson. That ain't Joe. But man, the CEO will take care of you, don't worry.
We keep the peace and play safe. Goodbye.
He will take care of you in a very good way that you will move like a CEO.
Man, we keep the peace and play safe. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. All right, folks. See you all tomorrow.